Hello, and welcome to Point Park University's esports team down at downtown Pittsburgh. Welcome.
Yeah, we're back again for another League of Legends game.
Yes. So I am Kago, also known as Underdog 2.V,
And I am Vice, also known as Tankzilla 10.
and I hope you enjoy what we've got in store today. So we are, so this is our, I believe, second game of the league season, going hopefully for a continuous victory, right?
Yeah, we're trying to get the 2-0. It would be
Yeah.
a big win for us.
That would be a big win. We're going against Bowling Green State, so that'll be an interesting fight. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard too much about them. I don't know much about League of Legends in general, but interested to see how they do.
Again, this is a return of last year where we weren't really sure. Not last year. Last game where we were also just kind of saying stuff to say stuff and not really understanding what we were saying. But we've played a game or two of League, and so now we understand a little bit more. Get kind of what mentally they're thinking of while they're doing stuff. So hopefully we'll be able to be more fitting towards what we're saying and make more sense. But yeah, sorry about the. Probably you're going to hear a lot of incorrect terms and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of issues last time. I know we called out some of the wrong names, so we got to try to work on that too.
Yeah, and we got to see some Valorant too.
Yeah, that didn't help.
That was interesting. But yeah, are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited for another game. I think the last one was a lot of fun to watch, and
Yeah, I
ready
agree.
to see how this one goes.
Yeah, it was interesting to watch. That Point Park University was like down and then up, down and then up again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it was their teamwork. They really worked well together late, and I think that kind of helped them stabilize.
Yeah, that late game build up is very powerful, and I think that'll be an interesting thing that they're going to, I guess, continue to strive for, is this late game domination and early game kind of allowing the enemy team to kind of push in, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see kind of how they play this one, because this is a different game. Like, they got a new team. They don't know this team as well.
Exactly. They have no...
So they need to kind of not go away from what they were doing last time,
But be able to adapt.
Adapt as they go.
I agree with that. Wow. So honestly, to be honest, even though we played a couple rounds of League of Legends, I couldn't say I understand enough of that. No.
I think I got like a general idea, but I do think there's still a lot of holes, so we got to work.
Yeah, quite a few holes. I don't know if a good idea is to play some more games of League and understand the game more, or if it's better to just sit and watch, you know? I don't know.
I don't know. I honestly kind of liked playing it. I don't know.
Oh, really?
It felt like interesting. I was trying to getting into it, so
I get it.
I might have to play it again.
Yeah, I can't say the same. It's not like I didn't like the game. I just didn't vibe with playing it. I enjoyed watching it a lot more. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun watching it too, but honestly, I was just enjoying getting out there and actually getting to play it, working with
That's a good point,
work with some people actually playing it.
Right, yeah. I think maybe like a 1-on-1 or 1-on-2, just one of our Point Park University players getting to play with the casters, and then learn.
Speaking of the players, there they are.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't really gotten to know a lot of them, but I'm really excited. Hopefully, maybe if we keep playing with some League, they'll be able to we'll get the chance to play with them,
Yeah, I would love that. I mean, I don't know them too well either, but it'll be cool to kind of get to meet some of them.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I think funny enough, a lot of the time, whenever we are watching the post game, I usually get the chance to kind of talk to them. For them, and it's kind of the first time I ever get to talk to them, And then it's wow, this is the person that I was kind of talking about on stream before I even got to meet them, It's
yeah, it was the same way for me. It was I was talking about them 1 minute, and then the next minute they were right in front of me, and I was talking.
right. It's so fun. Oh dear. So let's get on into the drafting phase here. So over on Point Park University's side, we've got Nafiri,
I think that's what that
Yep.
says.
Morgana, and Sliver. I think. Yep.
Yeah. And on Bowling in Green State side, we got Soraka, Zeri, and Kane.
Ooh, Kane's looking very interesting. I'm kind of into that. That's also looking.
Yeah, and I like the name. It's like
Yeah.
short and sweet, but it really strikes fear into the heart.
Right. I like the eye. The eye's like, strong. About to like what's it called? At nighttime, there's like the eyes that like look peer into your soul. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, and it's kind of, it's tripping me out. I'm kind of a little scared.
A little spooky. Oh dear. But on the other side, I really like the fox. Maybe I don't really know what that is, but I think it is fox.
Yeah, I'm liking it too. It's a lot different than most of the other characters, and I think that's kind of why I'm liking it. It's not like
Yeah.
this humanoid character, so it's kind of cool in that
Yeah,
way.
it's interesting that it's an animal.
Yeah.
No, I'm wondering what kind of like play style they are. After being able to after playing the game, I get to understand what kind of role people play. It makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, especially like the different lanes, and then there's the jungle player, and there's
Yeah,
a lot
and
of
then there's
stuff
the
to
support,
there's a
like-
lot of stuff to kind of learn, but once you start to play it a little bit, you kind of start to understand it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I wonder if like the character looks like what role they play. You know what I mean? Or if it's like one of the games where it really just kind of. Sorry, apologies. It really just kind of depends on what the character's abilities are. Because I'm pretty sure from what I've seen so far. The characters do kind of look like what role they play in the thing.
Well, the thing is that I saw is there was kind of like you can build your character, so maybe some of them.
Oh,
could be
that's
a
a
little
good part.
different.
Like, yeah, you could like build them to play a different kind of role. Ooh,
And there's Orm again. They were there in the second game last week.
yeah. Ooh, very interesting.
Seems to be that player seems to really like that character.
I agree with that. I think that also is really? Rel? I can't tell if that's an I or an L. I think Rel, right? Rel for Point Park University as well. And on to Bowling Green State University, we've got now Silas, and
I want to say Tom Kench. I think he was there last week.
I think
too.
so too. Yeah.
He seems to be pretty popular.
Yeah. Whew. Absolutely everything.
Yeah.
We know exactly what's gonna happen.
Hey, confidence is key. You never know.
Confidence is key. Exactly. We know exactly what to do. So, you know what? I think I'm excited to see a game of League of Legends. Aren't you?
I am too, I think.
Yeah. It's a shame that we're still gonna have to wait though. All right. Sorry about that. So actually, what's unique? So like, what kind of thing is Point Park University's team balance? Like, what's their strategy here?
Honestly, I think Point Park needs to focus on working together, but also there's a lot of other stuff that they can do. They could try to focus in specific areas. They could try to focus on what the other team's good. And yeah, I think they can do it.
So actually, let's do a little bit of a recap for those who've just came in. Sorry if you haven't didn't see the first half of the stream. Hello. we're in Point Park University Esports down at downtown Pittsburgh, and my name is Kago Johnson. I go by Underdog 2.V.
And I am Vice Flynn. I go by Tankzilla 10.
And just as a reminder, we are Point Park University going against Bowling Green State. Both of us have had our first victory of the season, and it's going to be a determination whether or not we'll be able to keep that that win streak going. And same thing goes for Bowling Green State.
Yeah, and I think this is really important because I'm pretty sure the winner of this game ends up the number 2 seed. I could be wrong. I would have to double check my notes, but I believe that's what I was told.
Number 2. That's actually really, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
like, I think this might be a very close game. I mean, apologies, let me reword that. This is going to be a very nerve-wracking game because there's a lot on the line to see whether or not they're able to really show what they're made of, you know?
And I've been hearing that they're kind of like completely different teams. One is very focused on trying to win early. Meanwhile, Point Park's a little bit slower. They let the other team overstep, and then they make them pay.
Yeah, like last game, what we saw was Point Park University. What they would do is like slowly ease into really building their carry character, and then overall just like kind of at the end game, just allowing that carry character to just really push through. That's what we saw a lot with who was that character again? Was it It was Gibby, right? Gibby doing that?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
Gibby, but yeah, that's kind of like the big deal here. It's going to be interesting to see that kind of clash between the two, to see whether or not Point Park University can like necessarily adapt, change to correspond to that kind of pressure of of Bowling Green State bowling and growing. You know,
Yeah,
scary.
I think a big part of this is going to be to see if they could go with their old strategy, but they need to show that they can adapt. And I think
Right,
that's
I
the
agree
most
with
important
that.
part.
Like, keeping that strategy up is good and all, and being able to increase that strategy. But in this case and scenario, logically speaking, if Bowling Green State is a snowball effect, getting better and better throughout the game, then that logically makes more sense that Bowling Green might be the winning team on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, but I think it's time we go to the Point Park University ad.
All right, sounds good.
Trying to find where you fit in the world can be challenging. But then there's a moment where it all comes together. And that moment happens at Point Park University. Career-focused programs converge with a vibrant downtown campus to prepare you for work and life. From experienced professors and internships to culture and job opportunities, you'll get the best of both worlds. Point Park University, where it all comes together.
Hello, welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that little Point Park University advert. Very new to the stream here, actually. It's actually very exciting. Hopefully, we're able to adapt on that and then grow the advertisements that we'll be showing on the stream.
And honestly, if you have any kids that want to come to Point Park and meet us. We would love to meet you.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be really interesting. I think we actually had a homecoming just a little bit ago, right? Like a introduction to people who are interested in Point Park University. Right?
Yeah, so it's a very important thing that you focus on your future, and I think Point Park has a lot to offer.
Exactly. Also, I'm pretty sure that if you actually go to some of these open houses for Point Park University, they will offer you a scholarship for just even going to these open houses. So if you decide to do that, it'll be a lot off of the tuition that you'll have to pay for later. So it's really nice, actually.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We have a lot of opportunities for you, so
Yes.
take advantage of them.
Yeah. Speaking of like scholarships, heck, esports. If you try out and such, you could get a scholarship for the esports team. And that Yeah.
And that's whether you're on one of the teams or even if you're doing like us, casting, if you're doing production, any of that, you can get scholarships. So
Exactly. So honestly, there's a lot of scholarships here that you can get. A lot of things that'll help you pay for this, pay for Point Park University. And if that's not kind of your cup of tea, and you still want to just go to Point Park University, there is a lot to offer here. So many different clubs, so many opportunities for you. It's just up to you what you want to make of it. You know.
yeah, and I think that's a really cool part of this. If you want to come here, there's a lot of opportunities.
It's very exciting. Anyways, so Bryce, how are you doing today?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing it pretty good. Honestly, again, League of Legends, I've been thinking about this like all day. Been kind of like nervous, but also excited for it.
I think it's time we start then.
Yeah, let's get started. Alrighty, so it seems like they're going to do a group push here on bottom lane. Again, Point Park University is a slow, plays slow at the start and eases up towards late game. So we'll see what kind of strategy how they will be playing this strategy out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I do find it kind of interesting, how they play. They are very slow and methodical, and they let their opponents make the first mistake.
Yeah, I agree.
Speaking of which, they're already chasing people down.
Yeah, very, very crazy to see. Already a channeling going here. I wonder why they had to return back to the base. Be interesting. So we're gonna be moving around a little bit here. We've got Soap and Salat hiding in the bush here. I imagine they're waiting for someone to come up and they'll ambush them. Oh, speaking of ambushing, Ignis is hiding in that bush there. They probably are going to stay there. Joji comes out, attacking Almighty,
ambush.
but I don't think Joji was expecting to see Ribeiro. However,
It looks like it's becoming
Yeah.
a game of who can get the upper hand first.
yeah, this is a very interesting. This is a very interesting case here. We'll see. Joji's almost out there. Can they get that? All right. First blood is given to Ribeiro. Ribeiro getting slain just
They
after.
soon got the revenge, but it seems very much like they're starting this out hot. Both teams already getting into these big fights.
Yeah, very very quickly here. It looks like actually Ribeiro and the Almighty are going to return back to spawn while Soap and Salat staying at bottom lane playing through here. Just get some control and see what happens here.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important that early game you try to get that control, you try to fill out your opponent. But honestly, I kind of like when the game starts with these big fights.
Right, very
It's
interesting.
action right out the gate.
Exactly. Interesting enough, I've already noticed between the last game and this game, Point Park University is already is not actually falling behind already. It seems like the both teams are kind of playing slow here. You know?
Yeah, which is very interesting to see. It shows that these teams may be more evenly matched than we originally anticipated.
Yeah, very interesting to see that. So again, at top lane we've got Almighty playing. Last game Almighty was playing against some other character, and they were just kind of at a stalemate, a continuous war that just kept on going. Didn't seem like any change. So I wonder if the Almighty will stay up there like that, or if it's going to be one-sided.
Well, so far, so good on that being another big brawl up there. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see. So we see both Shalat and Soap playing it down there. Oh, actually, I just noticed Soap's character is a very interesting looking character, just like a rider of like a dinosaur looking thing.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see, and I'm interested to see what their abilities are for it
Right,
too.
right. I wonder if it's gonna be like kind of like the dinosaurs, like I don't know, maybe like projectiles, or maybe it's more of like a kind of like a lance and knight kind of deal. I don't know. It's been interesting. So
Yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting start. We're still kind of in that filling out stage. Both teams trying to get the upper hand.
yeah.
I'm still interested to see who's going to walk out of here with a higher level.
Yeah. So far, actually, we see some change in scenario here. Point Park University is actually up a little bit, about 4K. Sorry, 400, 500, 400-ish, with 2 kills extra. So we'll see if that'll consist or if it'll actually grow. We'll see.
Yeah, that's a very big difference from last time because last week they were down the whole time. And then
Yeah.
they slowly came back. All of a sudden, they kind of seem like they're leading.
Right? It's very interesting to see this change of this change of like pace, I guess, in a best way to say it. Last game, it was kind of like nerve-wracking the whole time because we were just like standing there, seeing whether or not Point Park University late game strategy is going to just come and actually start acting against the other team. But this time around, it seems like even though I believe they might still be playing this slow game into late, they're still already up ahead.
Yeah. And it does seem like in the bottom, there is a little bit of like a 2-on-2 going on right now, which is really interesting.
Alrighty. And as the dragon spawns, we'll see who actually is going to take the dragon this time. Last game, we saw the other team decided to take the dragon quite often. Point
Yeah.
Park University was more focused on the grubs and the herald.
Yeah, which is very interesting. We'll see if that kind of persists in this game or not.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there is an update on the dragons that I learned. It's not 3 dragons, it's 4 dragons.
It's 4. Oh, goodness. We were saying 3 that whole time. Oh,
Yeah.
that's actually kind of embarrassing. Oh, no. We were saying 3. Oh, dear. Well, that's funny, but that's okay. Nonetheless, it was still kind of like, ooh, they got 3. What's going to happen? Well, at least now we know it's 4.
On the bright side, at least, yeah, now we know, and we already knew we were going to make some mistakes going in. We told you it's going to happen.
Do you know if, like, for the grub and the herald and all that, it's just the 1 kill?
Yeah.
Okay,
It
I
is.
understand that now. Okay, I see. So, as we see this, we see that, actually, Soap and Axolot still at this little bit of a standstill. It's nothing really happening too much. It seems like a kind of calming down right now. Nothing too crazy. So let's talk a little bit about some other stuff. So Point Park University here, we actually have some interesting players this time around. So again, from last game, we've had Shalot play very well as a rookie of the League of Legends team, you know?
Yeah, and it'll be very interesting to see if they can, keep it up with this faster start.
Right, let's see if Shalot will actually be able to show the abilities that they have, be able to keep this, like, good standing that they had from last game.
Yeah, and it's very interesting to kind of think about that. They have a new player, and it's going to be interesting how that new player does every time.
Right. Oh, actually, let's go back to the game here. It looks like Point Park University took the dragon, which is very interesting now that we compared to that last game. Point Park University taking charge and actually attacking these places.
Yeah, and that's very important to kind of think about because that's helping Point Park slowly gain the bonuses here.
Mm-hmm. It looks like there's going to be a little bit of a little fight mid lane there. Gideon versus, I believe it was Ignis. We'll see what comes from that. Currently, the camera is going to go back to the Almighty and Joji. Joji actually seeming like a little struggling there. We'll see what is going to happen.
Yeah, but it's kind of feeling like it did last time. It's kind
Yeah.
of like a ongoing struggle, and both sides are just going back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, it's very
When you
interesting.
see one struggle, they come back, but there we
Ooh,
go.
and there goes Joji.
The Almighty with
We'll
that
see if the Almighty will be able to take advantage of that, take some health from that turret. I actually played a little bit of top lane, and I personally did not like that very much. I am very much not into the like characters that are more melee. I really like the long range characters, so it's very cool to see like how people take advantage of those close range fighters.
Yeah, I also kind of had the chance to play top. I also didn't like it as much. I'm more of a fan of middle.
Yeah,
personally.
I understand that. So actually, we just saw now that Point Park University got the grubs and actually kind of stole them from Bowling Green here. Unfortunately, Bowling Green was able to get a kill on Soap, and now Point Park University has to divide themselves, get out of there before they lose some more players.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting to start talking about this. It looks like the economies are almost the same.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a slight lead for Bowling Green.
Yeah, it keeps it's now interesting to see that Point Park University is a little bit lower on the money scale here, but I think it's mainly because Point Park University focused themselves no longer on the minions, but actually on the monsters within the jungle. So I guess that makes sense for why Bowling Green has more money, right?
Yeah, because obviously to get money, the best way is to beat the minions, and they have not been doing that.
Right. So we'll actually see right now, see what kind of play is going to happen next. It looks like Bowling Green is actually focusing up on that top lane there, contesting that little area. Ooh, Ribeiro is actually running away. Unfortunately, gets knocked by Ignis, and bottom lane is being currently held strong. I mean, contested by two of Bowling Green.
Okay, but you have to kind of wonder, is this Bowling Green actually outplaying them, or is Point Park trying to do their strategy and lull them
Yes,
into
it's
false sense of
very
security?
interesting to see, especially with our lack of with like our minimum knowledge of this game. We definitely do not know whether or not Point Park University's strategy is going underway, where they are slowly building up to their maximum power, or if Bowling Green's snowballing effect has already started and is starting to show right now of an advantage of them. Ooh, very close game right now. Can Almighty get
Yeah.
Joji just before? Yes,
And
and
they both went down in the process.
yes, but at least Almighty was able to kill Joji before Almighty got knocked out there. Ooh,
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how well top is always seemingly this massive brawl, which usually ends in a stalemate. That's really interesting to see.
yeah, it's very interesting. All right, it looks like right now we've got bottom lane here with a little bit of quite a few characters in the bottom lane with Bowling Green playing just also there. We'll see what's going to happen there.
Yeah, it's been very interesting to see, what each team's been doing. You can kind of see, the what we talked about earlier, the clash of styles.
Right, right.
For Point Park, it's been slow, methodical, hoping that they can lead them into a mistake.
Right?
And for Bowling Green, it has been all offense the whole way through.
So if we look back up there and see the points here, Point Park University is actually falling behind a bit, almost 1,000 there. And I also noticed with the way that the grubs work, there's 3 of them. It seems like Point Park University got 2 of the 3 grubs, while Bowling Green only got 1 of them. So I guess that means that Point Park University can't unleash like the grub like attack.
I'm not entirely sure, but that would make a lot of sense. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's like killing, like eliminating the entirety of like the grubs, and then like the herald, and that's how that works. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
Who knows? We're just people. We're just people who are watching League. So actually, right now we're seeing kind of a rampage going on. Swagot getting a kill there. Ribeiro getting slammed by Ignis. We've got four of Bowling Green's members just kind of running it down on bottom.
Yeah, it seems that Bowling Green really started working together and just jumping the southern part of the map.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that means quite a few of Point Park University's characters have been eliminated. Thankfully, Gibby was able to eliminate one of Bowling Green's team. However, in that got eliminated themselves. Again, at top lane, we've just got Almighty and Joji playing against each other. However, it looks like Joji's about to get out. And there he goes.
Nice.
Ooh,
And
dragon.
looks like Bowling Green gets the second dragon.
Yeah. So now again, this is being a little bit of a tie on the dragon count here. I wonder what's going to actually happen here, since Point Park University seems like they're starting to fall behind. It looks like the bowling effect might actually be occurring here.
You say that, but what I'm seeing right now from Almighty is they might be falling behind elsewhere. But in terms of turrets, they're kind of winning in the north.
Yeah, the top lane here being able to get that top that turret, it seems like this game might actually change, because last game it was very much of like a fight to whoever can get more like monsters to push down mid, you know? But this time it seems like do what you can to kind of delay middle and bottom lane while top lane is slowly getting pushed out, you know?
Yeah, that seems to be Point Poke's strategy. I think when it comes to Bowling Green, their strategy is quite the opposite. They're just ignoring top lane, and they're all going to the bottom.
Yeah. So it's going to be, it seems to be more of like a race going to happen here. A race to see who can get more. Actually, however, right now, though, Point Park University is in another bout against Ignis and Donolo? Not entirely sure what that is. Can't really tell.
Yeah, it's very hard
Donolo.
to pronounce some
Donol-
of these
yeah.
usernames, but we're getting used to them.
The Rift Herald has just actually spawned here, so it'll be interesting to see if Point Park University is going to take that.
It looks like Point Park might have got jumped in the jungle.
Yeah, we'll see. Actually, Bowling Green is taking. Oh my goodness, it seems like an absolute war here. Almighty.
I think Bowling Green might be winning it though, and yep, there they go. They won the war in the jungle.
That
They might be
means-
going for the Rift Herald now.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen here. It seems not the greatest here. Point Park University falling definitely behind this time. It seems like what we're seeing here is the bowling effect in action, where it appear. So.
I mean, yeah, but again, I still look at the turrets, and Point Park still has one to none right now.
Right.
So they're winning in some areas, but they're failing in others.
Mm-hmm. So Joji working on that turret here. We'll see if Bowling Green will be able to take down a turret and match up those turret losses here.
And it seems that Bowling Green, while that was going on,
That was
also were able to get the Rift Herald.
Mm-hmm. Crazy play by that ult there, being able to run away and then snipe Salat there. Again, the Almighty and Joji playing up there, just kind of back and forth.
Yeah, but you have to think, the Almighty's kind of winning this fight.
Yeah, it
He's
seems like the
gotta-
Almighty is definitely winning the fight at
I
top.
think Bowling Green is trying, but Almighty is getting better moments. They were able to take down a turret, and they're still pushing up.
Yeah, playing that top is very strong in there. So actually what we see right now is Ribeiro playing some jungle eliminations, dealing with some monsters there. Got some mid fighting going on, and also bottom as well. We'll see what's going to happen with those two. Top
Yeah,
again, some fighting. So it seems like all lanes are being kind of contested right now. We'll see what's going to happen. Point Park University having more health here, so we'll see if bottom lane is going to be a win this time. Actually, now all of a sudden, top lane is being supported by Swagot on Bowling Green's team. We'll see.
Yeah, it looks like they realized that Point Park's getting a lead in the north,
Yeah.
and now all of a sudden they're kind of playing them up there.
Right. Ooh, this is a very interesting fight between them. It seems like, ooh, can we get Ignis out there? No, it does not seem like. It seems like they just got the support from that other teammate. We've got Gibby playing that mid, trying their best to contest, and it seemed like it was kind of going back and forth. I'm not really sure who was going to win there, because Ignis got Gibby quite low there, and then Gibby, like, I don't know, pulled something out there, was able to hit him hard. But now
It seems
they
like
got
they're
some support.
getting back up now here in the middle
Yeah.
and trying to push down there. That seems to be something they do. They are a lot more, unlike the team we played last week, this team does work together. They don't just separate.
Yeah,
And that could be very dangerous for Point Park.
yeah, they kind of push themselves together, start playing. They like regroup and start fighting. A dragon has just spawned, so we'll see if Point Park University is going to be able to take that. However, it looks like Bowling Green is kind of closer to that.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see, but even if they're closer, that does not mean they're gonna go for it, and that's what matters. If they go for it, and it looks like they are gonna go for it though.
Yeah, a little. Actually, that's interesting to see hiding in that thing. They might be forced out there because of Point Park University. We'll see if Point Park University actually is going to be contesting that one. We'll see This is going to be a big fight here. We'll see what's going to happen.
It looks like it's a big 5-on-5 now.
They're hard targeting Ignis.
And it looks like Bowling Green still got the dragon, but now they need to get out of there, and they're kind of overwhelmed.
Yes. Taking the time here.
And there's people getting killed all over right now.
Yes. So unfortunately, it looks like Point Park University was unable to successfully defeat them all. Now Gibby's running away, trying, and unfortunately is out.
And the
so it
whole
seems like
Point Park team has been eliminated.
So unfortunately, it seems like, oh my goodness, Joji with the ace here. It seems like Bowling Green was able to get that win for the Dragon, and also I believe a full team wipe there.
And then they went right after the turret. They know what they need to do. They just tied it up.
Yep. So it seems like Joji really playing strong there, playing top, and whenever need be, went down to the bottom and kind of absolutely wrecked. Dang.
Yeah, it was really focused on that, him specifically. He was struggling with just Almighty alone. But it looks like when the odds are against him, he steps it up.
Right. So we're seeing some interesting plays here. Swagger playing some jungle action here. Point Park University, I imagine right now, they need to figure out what they're going to do next because of the unfortunate little kind of events that just occurred just then. So I imagine Point Park University might need to play more kind of collectively in a support group, you know?
Yeah, and they are kind of starting to lose in the economy in the kills race, as you can kind of tell.
Yeah, they've lost their footing here, and it seems like they might be falling behind. And in a team going against a team who is known for starting a kind of avalanche, it seems like Point Park University is going to allow that to happen. It's kind of nerve-wracking.
But you have to wonder again if once again they're implying their strategy.
Yeah. So at top lane right now, we're going to be seeing some contesting between most of Point Park University and most of Bowling Green. We'll see if Point Park University is able to get this one out. Bowling Green was able to take out a turret while the...
was that? I wasn't really sure who it was. Was it Point Park or was
No, it was Bowling Green that was able to take a turret. I imagine what happened is during this little fight, Bowling Green was able to take out a turret. So blue team, Point Park University was able to take out a monster in the jungle. That's nice. This is a very interesting fight between them. Unfortunately, it seems like Point Park University lost the fight on top. There's quite a lot of things just happened there. We'll have to figure out what exactly just happened. Point Park University at 3 turrets eliminated. It seems like Joji's going to be focusing hard on this turret to make it to 2 turrets on Bowling Green. So it seems like overall what happened there was Point Park University was able to get quite a few things happening there while that fight was going on. Again, Bowling Green was like a whole entire team on that top lane, while Point Park University spread themselves out thin. So I think overall that was kind of a positive for Point Park University, although it seems kind of the opposite.
Yeah, again, it seems like they really focused in on distracting them in one area and then making them pay in another.
I agree with that.
I'm starting to see that trend in this game. Maybe this game isn't so much about working together, but maybe it's more about
dividing and conquering while also understanding where you can take those advantages.
Exactly, and I think that is really potentially what might give them this win, even though they are down on kills and economy.
It's very interesting to see. So right now we see some interesting play here in middle lane. Point Park University playing kind of back, hiding away. Swagger and Ignis up there playing a little bit, trying their best to push through. Looks like they're waiting for some backup. Again, we have Joji playing at top lane. Actually, crazy enough, it seems like Joji is kind of slowly pushing his way and not being contested by anything. So it's a little worrying to see. Speaking of which, Gibby is going to come in there to save the day for that turret.
You know, though, it's still kind of the same thing from them. Even if they aren't doing teamwork as much this one, they're still taking it slow and trying to force the opponent into making a mistake. And we
Yeah.
kind of seen it. They overcommit, and then Point Park goes and takes down a turret. And it keeps happening over and over again.
Yeah. So back to the game here. Point Park Bowling Green has big control over. Oh my goodness! So
Rebel,
again,
another
from
one.
last game to this game, Point Park University somehow steals the dragon just before the other team was able to take it. Leslie's team from last game was quite frustrated over that, and I can only imagine how Bowling Green feels with a dragon getting stolen from them.
And the crazy part is the same guy both times. That was
Yeah.
Ribeiro again. You have to start to wonder if maybe that's his role on these teams. He's there to make those plays when no one else is able to.
Yeah. So we actually have the Baron spawn just now, so we'll see if Bowling Green or Point Park University are going to take advantage of that one. Right now, Point Park University is actually quite at the spawn, so they don't think they'll be able to get this one. However, it seems like Bowling Green is separating just a bit, so their focus is not really on that.
Yeah, and now might be the time that Point Park gets together and tries to do the teamwork strategy.
Very interesting to see some crazy plays being made. I think that was a very great move by Ribeiro, being able to get that elimination on the dragon, meaning that Bowling Green wasn't able to take advantage of that dragon elimination.
Yeah, it does seem like Ribeiro has a strategy every time, and he's always looking for those moments.
Right. So actually, Point Park University has control over this area. Well, I wonder if they're going to take advantage and be able to take care of this. This I don't remember what this guy's name is. It's not Harold.
The Baron.
Baron. Baron. Yeah.
Baron.
Baron. It'll be interesting if they'll take advantage of this Baron. However, Bowling Green seems to be flushing them out here. Ooh. Point Park University having to play back here.
Yeah, but I'm counting here. There's 5 versus 4. So once again, are they overcommitting? Is someone else there in the area?
There he
There's
is, Almighty, playing in now. We'll see. That's what they were waiting for. Point Park University waiting for the Almighty to finally get back. And now it's a very big brawl. Ignis gets the first kill here, being able to slowly take over. And then we have some elimination back and forth. We'll see what's happening. Point Park University, Ignis getting some legendary. Oh, unfortunately, Point Park University seems to be the losing team on that bout, meaning that Bowling Green will be taking the Baron.
Yeah, but you have to notice, the Almighty did get away.
The Almighty
Somehow.
did get away.
And they're all focusing on this, so maybe what the Almighty should be doing is he should be going after the turrets right now.
Yes. So actually, I'm not entirely sure where the Almighty is here. I think
he might have went back to the start to try to heal up,
yeah.
because his health did just go up.
It's interesting to see. I wonder if that was the proper play here. That Almighty got walked away there and decided to come back. I wonder if he decided not to leave. If Point Park University would have won that.
Yeah, it was an interesting kind of part of the fight. It could have very well made a difference.
Yeah, again, the Point Park University pulled back just to wait for the Almighty to come back, and then so they were able to fight 5-on-5. So it's interesting. Maybe the Almighty left and came back after something important happened. Oh, okay.
It looks
So
like someone might have got booted from the game. So
Yeah.
the game has paused.
interesting pause here, so we'll be able to figure this one out. Apologies for that mishap. We'll figure that out, and we'll return you to the game in a moment's time. So, while that's happening, let's discuss what we know so far. We've got Point Park University kind of falling behind here, unfortunately. However, again, they're they excel in the late game, so we'll see if they're able to push forward. Meanwhile, we got Bowling Green State really pushing hard, starting their snowball effect, it seems. So we'll see if they're going, if this snowball is going to grow, or if Point Park University is able to like put like some sort of heater on that one and melt the snowball.
You know what? It might look like on paper they're falling behind, but I believe they have more turrets, don't they? They beat more turrets.
Yeah, the turrets
So-
have been interesting.
In theory, are they not technically winning?
Yeah, I guess technically, because of the turret count, Point Park University is ahead on that state. So I'm thinking maybe this is sort of Point Park University's kind of intentions, allowing letting Bowling Green to win some, and while Point Park loses that one, but win others that are more impactful. You know?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of important towards an important distinction between them and their opponent. Their opponent, they just keep going forward. They don't stop to think about it. Point Park, on the other hand, seems to be taking these risky fights because they know they have someone else preparing to get them further to their goal.
So maybe actually what we were expecting here was the Almighty was playing that card again, where Point Park University was going to play all of them in that area again. They were willing to lose the Baron. However, the Almighty would move out and handle some of the turrets to be able to get some more, I guess, land on Bowling Green.
Yeah, and that seems to be a very interesting thing with them. They don't play it like you would expect. They don't go after these bonuses as much. But they make the sneaky plays that puts their progress forward. But on paper, it looks like they're losing. And it might even get into the head of their opponents, and they might think, hey, we're winning, but in reality, they're not.
Right? So it's going to be an interesting game. It's really I'm not really sure what's going to happen here. It's not really a easy tell whether or not Point Park University is winning or losing here, especially with just how Bowling Green State has been playing. It just feels like Bowling Green State is dominating. But if you like think about it, Point Park University has their own little like strategies that they're kind of balling together to form like some sort of mega laser to just absolutely destroy Bowling Green's ball.
You know, the way I would kind of describe it, one side is trying to brute force their way in,
Right.
while the other one is being the tactician in this fight.
Right.
I
It's
think
an interesting.
They are outsmarting the ones trying to brute their way in.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I think right now we're still in a pause, so hopefully they'll be able to figure out what's going on here. But meanwhile, that's happening. Let's also talk about some other stuff. You know, especially with these kind of games, just actually any of the games that we've been streaming on Point Park University Esports down in downtown Pittsburgh here, it's just like kind of... As a caster, we use a lot of our voice. We have to play it up. We have to act, and just our voices get quite parched, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
So do you think there's something on this table here that'll be able to help us?
You know, maybe something that can grow us wings.
Wings? You know what gives us wings? Red Bull. Ayo, we got a Red Bull sponsorship. Woo! Red Bull sponsorship. Thank you, Red Bull, for sponsoring us, and I hope that you try yourself some Red Bull. It's very good, actually. Again, if you needed something to drink, if you're out of energy, you need some wings, just try some Red Bull, you know?
Yeah.
I love doing that. All right, so back to the actual game here. Unfortunately, I was hoping that after that little sponsorship on Red Bull, try it out, we'd have the pause stop. I'm not entirely sure how long we have on this pause. I'm hoping it's going to end fairly soon because it's a little worrying. I actually never knew that this was a thing. I thought it was just going to be like kind of like, oh, timeout, you know? I didn't expect there to be like some sort of thing here. So we're getting some information here. Actually, what's happening is an enemy player just got DC'd. So hopefully they'll be able to get back and something will be able to happen here. I'm hoping what doesn't happen is the enemy player is unable to come back and we'll have to start again. I don't know exactly what's going to happen there.
Yeah, I hope so too. But, this game has been so good, it'd be
Mm-hmm.
a shame to see it thrown out.
Yeah, while during this pause, this gives Point Park University the opportunity to just kind of talk and figure out what's going to happen. Right now, again, we're not really sure what's exactly is going to happen with Point Park University versus Bowling Green. But as we said before, if it's actually happening where Point Park University is being tactical with this, I wonder if Point Park University is figuring out what kind of tactical plays they can do next while they're just kind of talking it out.
Yeah, and I think that's a very important thing. This kind of gives them time to strategize.
Yeah, I agree with that. Imagine Bowling Green right now trying to figure that all out, but they also have the opportunity to talk to themselves while whichever player on Bowling Green's team is having to figure that out. At least it gives the opportunity for them to also. So this is also being served as kind of like a timeout,
Yeah.
It's very interesting to see this. Yeah, I didn't expect League of Legends to have that kind of thing, It's actually interesting to see. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter what you play. There's always going to be some sort of tactical thing you have to think about. You have to sit there, strategize. Teamwork is very important in so many games. So it's just interesting to see that even in a game of League of Legends where it's kind of more of a slower paced game, you still need those moments of time out, get a minute to think, and just communicate to each other,
Yeah, and I think that's a really important part in, how Point Park does things. They let the other team
Right.
really get this feeling that they're gonna win, and at the very end they just yank the win away.
Right. You know what I noticed? I know I'm short, and I know I'm like not as tall, and I wish I was a little bit taller. But like, you standing beside me makes me feel not as short. Okay, you don't have to like stand up straight now. You lean on the wall. Lean on the wall. There you go. Look at us. We're just the same height now. Look at that. Ayo. Oh goodness. I wish I was taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a rabbit. I like that song.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. So actually, let's go. Enough of the little bit of a playing around. However, let's get back to actual talking about like League of Legends and all that nonsense. After playing a little bit of League of Legends, I've been thinking about like how everything works and all that, and I've noticed that League of Legends, the biggest thing is really understanding like what each character does, not like necessarily what their abilities do, which is definitely something that helps, but like understanding what role you play in your team,
Yeah. And I think that's extremely important for these players to figure that out right now because this is probably one of the biggest games of the year. This is to get you set up as the number 2 seed right now.
Right. Yeah, yeah, so it's like very interesting to know. Especially like I just think that we can get there later. Like I think like what was I gonna say? Sorry. I think just like the idea that every character in the game, whatever you decide to have them be focused on, it changes entirely how exactly it works,
Yeah. And just one thing real fast. So obviously I know some people are probably wondering why Rocket League wasn't earlier today. It's because it's going to be on Friday this week.
We've been moved. Rocket League has been moved to Friday, actually, and we're going to return to the game because we are back online. Ayo! All right, so again, this time around, weirdly enough, we actually see some fighting going on between Joji and Gibby, which is very interesting. I wonder what the Almighty's up to right now. Actually, I think
not in top.
Yeah, I think actually this time around he's on bottom lane, the complete opposite of top lane. So I wonder what's going to happen
A little bit of
here.
lane switching here.
Yeah, so I'm wondering because of I imagine top lane is more of like a sort of tanky kind of stalemate because it seems like that's kind of the purpose of this top lane is kind of just to keep a stalemate going on between two. Speaking of which, on a different note, sorry, the dragon has spawned, so I wonder what's going to happen there. But it seems like the Almighty has been moved to the bottom lane to hold that strong because the Bowling Green's team is pushed into there,
You know what's also interesting? They've had some success in the top lane. Could this be the beginning of them trying to continue that?
Right.
Obviously, Gibby is basically the person who carries on their team.
Right.
And it's going to be very interesting to see if they can stop him from carrying in the top lane.
So actually, we just saw that Bowling Green was able to get that dragon, so now they are at 3-1 away from the absolute crazy 4.
And it looks like they're all jumping Joji.
Bye-bye, Joji. So now that Joji has been eliminated from the team so far, it seems like they're channeling back. And again, this is very interesting to see. We've got some stuff going on at the bottom lane here. Again, it's very interesting to see the Almighty having to play down at bottom this time, just like kind of holding bottom lane before it gets overrun, while top lane and mid lane are being contested again. It seems like we're still in like ahead in a matter of like turrets, but it seems like it's kind of more just like we're trying to figure out which lane we're trying to push. Like, what lane do we want to push?
Or is that what they want? Is that what Point Park wants the opponent to think?
Right?
Do they want them to kind of ease up a little bit, and then they're going to make a big play later in the game that could give them the win?
Right. So actually, I've noticed a lot is it seems very common to see that Swagger is just kind of eliminating so many monsters in the jungle. It's interesting. I wonder if these eliminations of like monsters in the jungle just eventually just snowball into so much power that Bowling Green has, you know?
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder if that is his role on the team, if he's supposed to be there taking out these monsters all game.
Right. Imagine that's the life of a jungle player. So, on a different note, we got some mid contestant happening. We've got 3 of Point Park University down there, trying to push a little. I wonder if they're going to stay there. Actually, no, they're going to recall. Seems like they're going to maybe do a larger push. I wonder.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what they're thinking, because they have kind of showed that they have a lot of tactical thinking in all of their plays.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting to see what are they doing here.
Yeah. It's very interesting to see that it's kind of slowed down a little bit, where Point Park University and Bowling Green, they're fighting each other, but it seems not as like crazy because they've switched around where the Almighty is standing, right? Instead of this the top lane control, it's now bottom lane trying to prevent, I guess, Ignis then from being able to move around.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to kind of see that, take place. It shows that maybe they can adapt. Maybe they do have that ability to adapt to seeing what the other team can do.
Actually, it seems like right now we've got the Almighty is going to be attacked right now by Ignis. So unfortunately, I think that is kind of more of a losing battle there, unless if maybe the Almighty got unlucky there. Looks like one of our turrets had been destroyed, so now it's at a tie here. The Baron has spawned, and we're having a very large fight going on right now at top lane here from the jungle top. Ooh, very close. Very interesting to see.
And they kind of pushed Point Park out of the jungle for a minute there, but
Yeah.
now they're trying to return again. It seems like there's a big stalemate going on in this specific part of the map.
Yeah.
And it's all over the Baron, it seems like. They're all trying to fight for it.
Yeah. So we'll actually see what Point Park University is going to do while the Baron's being taken out right now. Again, Point Park University, they might be playing a little bit differently here with this Baron basically being taken out by Bowling Green.
Yeah, it's very... Oh, man, once again, ganging up on people.
Yeah, big gang up
Let's see what
on
they do.
Ignis. We'll see if they're going to be able to get this one out. Again, Bowling Green, just every time one person's being attacked, they just team up. What in the world was that? Is that like some sort of teleportation magic there?
Yeah.
They were able to all pull away and be able to teleport back to spawn and just kind of heal back up and regroup, figure out where they're going to go next. So that's kind of crazy. I don't even... Whose like ability is that? I don't even know. Crazy.
Yeah, it seems
Ignis's
like-
ability?
Yeah, it seems like one of them has an ability to make those, so that's really cool to see.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see. Very powerful. Very good if you guys, if the team strategizes with it and figures out how to use it properly. Point Park University playing kind of bottom and mid here. No one's at the top lane. I wonder if any of them are going to take advantage of that. However, actually, more importantly, we've got another brawl going on soon.
And
probably.
another dragon has spawned as well.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, this could be the 4th one.
Yeah.
For Bowling Green. So they need to go down there and they need to focus on it.
Yes. So we got this little interesting fight going on. Point Park University trying to make their way over to Bowling Green while they deal with the dragon. I wonder if Ribeiro is going to try to steal that again.
Look, it looks like Ribeiro is waiting for it.
Unfortunately, Bowling Green has taken that dragon, so now they have the 4th dragon. I wonder what's going to happen now.
Yeah, big change right there. We'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But
Point Park
you know what?
University.
They still seem like they're getting overwhelmed despite getting the 4th dragon.
Yeah, but the one by one, Point Park University able to take these kills from Bowling Green. Something locked in. Swagot coming in late, getting eliminated. Ooh, nice work,
You know what
Gibby.
I'm noticing? They're starting to once again get back into what gave them the win last time.
Yeah, starting to like team up collectively, group up. Ooh, remember last game where they started pushing after some sort of mistake? It might be another moment of that. All 5 of them pushing hard in mid. We'll see if they're going to take advantage of this. Almost an entire. We still have about 20 seconds for all 5 of Bowling Green's team to come. We'll slowly. Oh my goodness. They might be able to take the Nexus down. They just took the Nexus down, and they just won the first round of the League of Legends match.
Want to know? They need one more to finish it. We'll see if they can get it.
That was an interesting game. That is very interesting to know.
And
like,
it kind of looked like Ribeiro was going to go for it, but then he changed his mind.
right.
And we joined with his group because they realized they were splitting up.
Yeah.
And they teamed up and they took care of it.
Yeah. That was very interesting to see. Like, again, from last game, it just seems like Point Park University just falls back. They get and it just starts to seem like they're losing, and there's no way to fix it. And then suddenly just pull themselves up because they're late game. And I think we just saw actually not just a late game play again happening where they just take advantage of that opportune time to just push down mid and be able to take out everything and be able to take the Nexus. So I think that just happened right there, what we just saw. And we might be seeing that again in this next game because I think that might be their play.
And I love when they do that. You know, that last second rally.
Right?
You kind of feel the momentum in the air changing when it happens.
Right?
And then they just push right down the field and no one can stop them.
Yeah, it's such an interesting thing to see whenever Point Park University's team just starts pushing down that mid lane as an entire unit and nothing stops them. Not even like the enemy team because they're already out, so they can't do anything.
Now,
Wow.
you got to wonder if this could be 2-0. They just need one more.
Yeah.
And from what I'm hearing, I might be wrong, but have they ever been 2-0 before?
Point Park University?
Have they ever been 2-0?
I don't think so. We'll be seeing. Maybe. I'm not sure. Actually, because from what I've heard when we were kind of discussing with Point Park University's League of Legends teams, while they were talking to us, it was just kind of like one of them mentioned like this is the game that shows that we have changed, and I don't think they've ever like actually gotten 2-0 before. So this could be the moment that they get just that ability to say, "Hey, we're here. We're that good. We're that good." So it could be very interesting to see. I'm excited to see.
Kind of makes you wonder, could this year be the year? Could this be the year?
It could be the year. And I would be very excited to be casting for this year, you know?
Yeah,
At being the caster for the year that the League of Legends team brings it themselves all the way up there. That'd be such an amazing event. Who knows? Exciting. So, while we wait for the next game to happen here, we're going to take a little bit of a break. Allow me, Kago, Underdog, and
Vice, Tankzilla 10.
to take a little break here, a little chat, try some Red Bull, take a little break. So we'll be back in a little bit. Thank you for coming. We'll be back in a moment's time. Welcome back. Hello, if you're just coming in and you don't really know what's happening. Hello, welcome to Point Park University's Esports game down in downtown Pittsburgh. We're going against Bowling Green State University, and we just won the first game of the fight for the best out of 3. So, feeling pretty good here. I'm Kago,
I am Vice.
and we're about to go into the draft here. So, actually, again, the last game, if you didn't watch, was very interesting. very, very tight game. Point Park University starting strong and then kind of falling back quite hard. But actually, what we saw here was, yeah. So very fun to see that Point Park University taking advantage of the mistakes that Bowling Green makes and just absolutely taking advantage, just absolutely just denying anything other than a win and down in that mid lane. It was crazy to see. So I wonder if they're going to be playing that way again, because it seems like every game that they've played, they just wait for that opportune time to just take advantage and just push down mid.
Yeah, and their ability to just adapt last second. Like last game, we mentioned how we saw how Ribeiro was, he looked like he was about to steal the dragon, but then he kind of swapped up last second. They have shown they can adapt. And I think that's going to be a huge asset to them winning games this year.
So this time around, we've got a little bit of a change on players this time. Already, we have quite a few different characters on Point Park University's side. We've got, I have no idea how to say that, Mordekaiser,
I want to say it's Mordekaiser.
Mordekaiser.
Wrong.
I like that, Mordekaiser. Rise and Vigo, very interesting.
And on the other side, they have Orm, Silas, and Kane. It looks like they stole Orm from Point Park this time around.
Yeah, I think the Almighty playing that Orn character. Apologies, playing Orn was really powerful. I think Bowling Green kind of was intimidated by that. Like, hey, we need to use this character because Point Park University absolutely just absolutely wrecked with Orn. So we'll see.
Yeah, and it's very interesting to kind of see that. Obviously, last game, it was Point Park that took one of Leslie's characters. So this time around, it is seemingly reversed. Now we're forcing other teams to take our characters.
Right.
And that's kind of a big sign towards potentially now we're starting to get into our own strategies and are actually doing really well, that other teams are fairing us instead of us fairing them.
Right. So what we're seeing here, because I was kind of sitting and listening into their conversation, figuring out what Point Park University wanted to do next in this next game. It seems like their biggest fear was a character named, I think, Cillian, something on the lines of that. Apologies. Sylvian.
I think that was one of them.
I think so. Something on the lines of that. Mainly because it seemed like Gibby was really struggling with that character. So I think
they might have banned out.
So I think they ended up banning that character. So I wonder if that ban, that replace for that ban is going to allow Bowling Green to have a new character, a new character have just out of nowhere be like a trump card there,
Yeah, it could be very interesting to see how that goes for them. But you have to also kind of look at Point Park's team. It's very different this time.
Yeah, very different. Again, it's new. We have yet to see a new character this time. So we've got Braum this time now, and we've got Urana, all new characters this time.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see.
It looks like they might be. So I wonder if this change of characters is signing a new strategy that they're going to be playing, or they're changing their characters to combat the Silas Kane kind of duo that they Bowling Green has, which they kept this time. So it's interesting to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they play it, but looks like Zeri ended up on there as well, so that was from last game. So Bowling Green's very similar as they were in the last game.
Yeah.
While Point Park feels a little bit different.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that. We'll see what's going to happen here. Point Park University, all of them talking, figuring out what they're going to do. We got Salat over there just looking at the draft, seeing what's going to happen. All of them kind of just preparing,
Yeah, you can tell that they are very prepared for this. They want to walk out of here 2-0 like they did last week.
It's going to be exciting to see that. I'm really excited to see Point Park University's next game here. Again, last game, it seemed like we were winning, and then we were losing for like almost the entirety of the game. And then suddenly at the very end there, we just absolutely wrecked.
Yeah.
So
We've seen that so many times with them too, which is the crazy part.
Mhm.
Like, when you think they're out, think again. That's
Exactly.
really all it is.
So I think, honestly, what might have happened there was Point Park University, again, because both of them play really slow. Both teams, sorry, they play slow. Bowling Green being a entire like snowball effect that happens. So Point Park University, they were slowly building themselves up. That snowball effect started happening, and they were falling behind quite a lot. However, Point Park University, knowing that eventually that snowball is going to have to end, they just played around that, and eventually, when that snowball ended, and they, I guess, technically caught up, they were able to just play and found the opportune moment to just take advantage of Bowling Green and just take it over.
I think what they really did is they waited for summer to come. It was winter when they were down, but every winter has to come to an end.
Right.
And when the summer came, the snowball melted.
Right. It's good. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Again, this time around, it's a new year, a new time, if we're going by that analogy. A new year has come. We'll see if things have changed this time around. They had enough time to communicate, figure out what's going to happen this time around. I wonder if Bowling Green is going to realize that Point Park University just keeps doing this again and again, where they just suddenly come up and just take advantage of that one moment of just opportunity, just takes advantage of that and absolutely wrecks. So I wonder if Bowling Green's going to notice that and try their best to just absolutely avoid that. You know?
Yeah, and I love to see it. You know, this repeated story keeps developing, and it's kind of cool to see. You know.
Yeah,
You
I
have to
really
wonder
agree.
as the season goes on, will this continue to happen, or will teams finally start to adapt to it?
I'm really excited to see. But while we wait here, let's talk a little bit about Point Park University's school. Like, what do you think about the school?
I think it's great. You know, there's a lot of, as we said earlier, there's a lot of opportunities. You know, it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, I don't think we're going to be able to explain it that well. But you know what will? An advertisement for Point Park University. Let's hear it.
Trying to find where you fit in the world can be challenging. But then there's a moment where it all comes together. And that moment happens at Point Park University. Career-focused programs converge with a vibrant downtown campus to prepare you for work and life. From experienced professors and internships to culture and job opportunities, you'll get the best of both worlds. Point Park University, where it all comes together.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed that little advertisement. Again, we're trying our best to like push that in there, let you guys see that advertisement, because we're gonna have a lot more of those and a lot more new kind of things happening, because we're trying to increase the production quality of our streams, and that was kind of a little sneak peek into what we've been working on, trying to increase not only just the overall like quality as in like the graphics and all that, but also just what you see entirely. Like, we have an advertisement. That's crazy. That's awesome. We have an advertisement for our school.
Yeah, we're mind blowing stuff. We're changing everything. You know, technology's getting better, and we're going with it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting year. I am very excited by what exactly is going to happen with this new year of students here at Point Park University.
And
Pioneers.
I can already tell the next 4 years it's going to be so amazing. You know, we're building this new group of people, and I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. So while we wait for the new game, let's talk about what's going to happen apologies. What's going to happen up next in the later in this week? Tomorrow we have a Valorant game. Again, we have a double header going on with so Point Park University green team and gold team is going to be going against. Apologies, let me figure that one out real quick. Point Park University will be going. Gold team will be going against Ozarks Technical College, while Valorant's green team is going to be going against Manchester University. So that'll be really interesting to see. I have no idea I haven't really thought about exactly what's going to happen with that one. So we're going to talk about that later. However, if you want to see that, that's tomorrow at 7 o'clock around that time. So hopefully if you want to watch that and watch me and my roommate, which is going to be the other caster, Devin, that'll be interesting to watch. And this Friday is going to be a Rocket League game. Let me double check that time. It'll be 7 o'clock as well. So if you want to watch those games that are coming up this week, go ahead and put that on your calendar so you'll be able to watch that. Apologies that we're not able to give you guys a earlier time that we know of before like the week is, but it happens. We're figuring it out. I think we're almost able to like have like exact dates, but right now you'll just have to hear from us whenever we say it. So yeah. However, let's now that we're done talking about ourselves, let's talk about the game of League of Legends. What do you have to say, Bryce?
It's been very good so far. I genuinely think it's going to come down to if we can get another amazing play like last time.
Mm-hmm.
We need to keep doing what we've been doing well. You know, we see these moments, we see these opportunities, and we capitalize on them. That's what we got to do if we want to come out of here with a 2-0 win.
Right. I'm like kind of getting excited. I really want Point Park University. I'm really hoping Point Park University is able to get a 2-1. I mean, 2-0.
Yeah, we don't want 2-1.
Sorry, not 2-1. Not 2-1. That'd be a long game. I meant 2-0. And that'll be really nice to see Point Park University succeeding in this year from what they have and this group. So let's get back into the game. Now that the drafting is done, we're going to be seeing a new game, new Point Park University, because again, Point Park University has an entirely different lineup this time.
Yeah, and that's very interesting. It almost feels like we're starting out again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a fresh start, but it's a second game.
Yeah. What in the world is Swagot doing? That is a very interesting. Like, I don't have no idea what that was. That was really weird. All right. So while the Point Park University and Bowling Green wait for those minions to start spawning, it looks like they're just kind of hiding themselves. Differently from last time, where Point Park University kind of pushed hard on the team and just kind of eliminated quite a few. So I wonder if this time they might be playing more of a laid back, allow Bowling Green to like kind of push and like exhaust themselves and allow Point Park University to like do the thing that they keep doing at the very end.
It's very interesting to see, you know. It's very interesting to see how they kind of work these games because again, every game they have a different strategy and it keeps working.
Right. So right now we got Point Park University's bottom team of both Soup and Salat playing down there, while Gibby is playing mid against Ignis. I wonder what's going to happen here. It seems like they've already started a little bit of a pick game. We've got an interesting switch. I think, yeah. So, again, Point Park University and Bowling Green at the bottom lane, just kind of going back and forth. I wonder, because last time it was Almighty at the top lane, and then he suddenly switched down to bottom. So I think the idea is just like kind of playing slow there. Ooh, whoa.
It does seem like there seems to be a big fight in the top again with Almighty and Joji, though.
Mm-hmm. That is a big hammer. Ooh, oh, crazy. So Swagot suddenly pops out of nowhere, supporting Joji, preventing the Almighty to be able to just deal with Joji. Though I did notice Almighty, although changing characters, seems like he's still kind of overpowering Joji. Unfortunately, with the support of Swagot, Joji was able to make it out of alive, though. So top lane has been taken over.
It does feel like Joji is struggling a little bit, and that's why Swagot keeps coming back up. Mm-hmm. Because he has to. Otherwise, they're going to lose quickly at the top.
Right. So with that being said, if top lane has to get that support, because top lane is kind of like this stalemate, if top lane has to get that support to be able to function, that means Swagot's not able to handle those eliminations of the monsters in the jungle. Therefore, Point Park is able to just take advantage of that, right?
True, but I would also think maybe they can bring all their people together, and make a run for it, while two of Bowling Green are stuck in the top.
So actually, we see right now the Almighty is kind of pushing pretty hard on Joji with that really big hammer, really being able to push pretty far with that range. Meanwhile, mid lane right now with Gibby playing. It's an interesting looking character. It's kind of it's like a map guy. Soap and Salat playing down at the bottom. Looks like this time around it's kind of slower. Although even though Bowling Green did get the first blood, that was mainly because again, Almighty got double teamed there because Swagot had to help support.
Yeah, but ever since then, it's been like a big stalemate everywhere. No one's been able to take each other out. It's just like big battle after big battle, and they get nowhere.
Yeah. So actually, maybe interesting at this bottom lane, Point Park University and Bowling Green will be fighting now. Ooh, interesting shield up that just blocked out quite a few of those of that attack there. Dragon has just spawned. We'll see if Point Park University or Bowling Green will take advantage of that.
And it is notable that the jungle player in Bowling Green has stopped helping in the top, so he can actually focus on the dragon now.
So a little bit at a time. Actually, we've noticed Swagot is not actually doing that dragon. He's actually come back to help Joji. So interesting enough, it might be suddenly that top lane is no longer that stalemate because Swagot and Joji has decided to team up on that top lane against the Almighty, which is kind of Almighty's weakness, is just having to deal with more than one person. But with that being said, now that two people are fighting at that top lane, jungle's no longer being contested by Swagot, meaning whoever jungle player is on Point Park University, they have a lot of room.
Let me see here.
So it looks like bottom lane here is actually being grouped up on. It looks pretty nice. They just got a elimination on Starry Ashes, so which is kind of nice. Point Park University is now going to be taking on that dragon, which is quite nice. Again, Point Park University, last game, they were able to take that dragon, and this time, I wonder if they'll be doing that again.
Yeah, and I just looked. It looks like the jungle in Point Park is Ribeiro.
Ribeiro? Oh. Ribeiro playing the jungle. All right, so Ignis and Gibby again playing in the mid. It looks like actually it changed a little bit. Top lane, it no longer is that like lane that's being just a constant stalemate. Rather mid lane actually, because Ignis and Gibby just kind of play back and forth there.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to kind of see, how both teams are starting to kind of adapt as the game goes on.
So we got bottom lane. It looks like they're recalling back there. Looks like mid lane being fought again. Ooh, Gibby being got stunned there. Was able to hit Ignis a little bit. Still again, kind of just back and forth of nothing. Joji being pushed back a little. Ooh, unfortunately, Almighty missed that pool.
And similar to every other game, they are behind again, Point Park. But you have to wonder if it's just them tricking us again.
Right? Oh my goodness, Point Park University, you be giving us a heart attack. You're not sure what's exactly going to happen. I think it doesn't help that we're also just like not really sure how this game works entirely yet. So it's just kind of a mixture of we don't know how the game works and we also don't know how Point Park University does their thing. But it works and they're winning.
Yeah, that's all that matters,
So the Void Grubs have just spawned. I wonder if who is going to be taking that. It looks like right now Point Park University is going to be taking advantage of that. Swagot trying their best to push over. Meanwhile, So
You have
now
to
we've got
wonder.
Point Park University getting that elimination. Ooh, I think the oh my goodness. Got Point Park University forcing to be pushed back there, while Bowling Green was being kind of chased after those grubs because they kind of directed their attention to Point Park University. I think, though, Point Park University might be able to get a couple picks off of there because they're playing quite close there. But that might also mean that they're going to be losing the grubs because Ignis is working on that.
It's actually not looking too great for Point Park right now. They had to pull out the shield to protect them for a second, as all their health got kind of low.
So we just saw a couple of them channeling back. It looks like they're going to allow Bowling Green to take those grubs. They've already got the 2, so they're going to probably get the 3rd. Meanwhile, Point Park University, now that they've channeled back, they've got their health back, they're regrouped, they're ready to go. We'll see what's going to happen. Point Park University, bottom lane, top lane, again, same thing.
Interestingly, they're kind of catching up to each other. Yeah, it's been a very interesting game. Both sides are starting to try to push in their own strategies.
So we've got some Axolot play here. We're not entirely sure what's going to happen here. We got some pushback. Soap has finally reconvened, so now they'll be able to push a little bit back. They'll be able to fight, this 2-on-2 now. But it doesn't really look like Bowling Green's... It seems like Bowling Green might be pushing that a little bit hard. All Might playing a little bit... Sorry, the Almighty playing a little bit careful up at the top lane there.
Yeah, it's been a very back and forth game. Both sides trying to get the upper hand here.
Right. It's very interesting to see that.
And you can kind of see it in the kills and the gold. They're so close.
Alrighty. Ooh, okay. Oh dear. A little bit of some technical stuttering there. So I'm not entirely sure what just happened there, but it's okay. We got Gibby and Ignis again playing in center. Meanwhile, Salot and Soap playing bottom lane. Gibby playing the Almighty playing top lane, but I think Almighty's going to be returning there.
Yeah, it's been very interesting. It's been kind of a stalemate this whole time now.
It's very interesting to
You
see
have to
that.
wonder if the curse that the top lane has just spread to the whole game. Everything's a stalemate. Yeah, it's been interesting to see both sides trying to getting that upper hand.
Right. Actually, right now what we're seeing is Joji slowly taking out that turret there. So hopefully the Almighty is going to be able to prevent that from happening. Maybe actually what's happening is the opposite on top lane. The Almighty versus Joji is a losing battle again because Swagot keeps coming up there supporting Joji.
Well, it is important to know.
A very interesting play by Ribeiro being able to take that. I'm not entirely sure who that character was. Starry, I believe. No, not Starry. Donolo being able to just take him while inside of the bush and just kind of just eliminated the heck out of him.
Yeah, it could have been Starry. This ain't Rocket League.
Yeah. Ooh. Alrighty. Look at that. Swagot and Joji again going against Almighty. He's gonna have to push out.
I think that was Ribeiro who got the dragon while everyone else was busy.
Yeah. So now, with Point Park University with 2 dragons this time, preventing Bowling Green from being able to take many dragons. Very interesting to see. We've got that turret on bottom. Turret on bottom lane being slowly taken out a little bit. Soap coming in from behind, being able to take some damage. However, unfortunately, Soap was taken out cold there.
Yeah, it seems like both sides have been putting on a pretty good fight here as they both want to walk out of here with the win.
Right. So I've noticed this time around, it seems like Point Park University is playing pretty strong for a team that kind of goes slow at the start and go crazy at the end. It seems like they're already kind of playing hard here. Either that or Bowling Green is like playing already at kind of their max right now.
But as you said, that they did just take out a tower in the top lane. So even it's kind of swapping now.
Right.
You know, Point Park is playing better, but in technicalities, Bowling Green is leading.
Right.
And we'll see if that kind of trend continues, or if Point Park will do what it usually does and fall into a defensive mode and then wait for that opening.
Right. Now with those turrets about to fall, we're going to see some interesting play here. Might be being playing a little bit faster now. Point Park University, sorry, PPU, and Bowling Green kind of playing back and forth. Not really sure what's going to happen now. Turret plating falls, so
and as we've noted this in the last week's game, turret plating is extremely important because the moment that plating falls, these turrets become much more vulnerable, and it allows for teams to try to take advantage and get a lead.
Right. So we're actually seeing, whoa, interesting enough, Joji switched from the top lane over the bottom lane. We've got Ribeiro trying to take over that one, preventing anything from happening. So is Gibby. Joji absolutely being destroyed there. So bottom lane has been protected. Interesting enough, that means if bottom lane has been replaced, if Joji has taken bottom lane, who is at top lane? It looks like to me we've got Ignis on top lane now. Meaning, who is in mid lane now? So,
and it doesn't seem like Joji's is playing too well in bottom lane, as he's already lost a turret.
So that Rift Herald just spawned, and immediately after that spawn, Bowling Green has decided to attack that one. Point Park has decided to kind of change up who's in whose lane. So has Bowling Green. Seems like Soap and Salat are now in mid, while Gibby may be playing top, and no, I'm not sure because
it seems like they keep swapping.
they just keep swapping around. It's
it doesn't
interesting.
seem like anyone has a spot. They just keep going everywhere.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see. Right now we've got a bunch of Point Park pushing, and they've got that kill on Dunolo. I'm just gonna say Dune. Right now working on Joji. Another elimination. Ignis. They might push. Nope, they won't. They'll be falling back on that one. Going back to mid. They've got 4 out of all of Point Park. 5 out of the 5. What are going to do? They might push. I think they will. They're going to be pushing mid again. Maybe this is going to be another moment where they take advantage of a mistake that Bowling Green has made and get some leverage. Looks like because Bowling Green has respawned and channeled and is already back, it looks like Point Park is going to return to home.
Yeah, it seems like both sides have been really playing back and forth, and both are trying to get that easy advantage. Which team has to dig deeper?
Right. So, again, we've noticed that kind of tendency, that pattern just occurred again where Point Park just pushes down mid again whenever the enemy team kind of makes that mistake. So it's good to see that right now, that was that moment. I wonder what they're doing hiding in that little bush there. Maybe trying to get something to happen for Point Park.
And it looks like they waited for them to get there and they jumped them.
Yikes.
But maybe they miscalculated as there are more. As the fence came and helped.
Ooh, so Point Park. Actually, sorry, that Dragon Edge just spawned. Interesting enough to look at. Ribeiro pushed in alongside 2 other players of Point Park, and then for some reason suddenly it was just Ribeiro while the other 2 were hiding in the bush. So I wonder, maybe it was a miscommunication on the team, which might be a bad moment there. If they collectively pushed together, that might have changed the things, because when they finally did, Ribeiro was so low already.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that happen, and it looks like it's helping Bowling Green as they got a dragon of their own now.
Yeah, a little mistake by Point Park, so hopefully that is going to, hopefully that's not too big of an issue. Actually, Bowling Green has just spawned in their Herald. Oh, wow. Already getting basically removed there, gone. Wasn't able to take down that turret, but got quite a few damage there. Point Park slowly working around, trying to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, and it does seem like this game has been a lot more focused on the monsters and the objectives for Bowling Green, while Point Park just keeps trying to push for these towers.
Right.
Which is kind of echoing what happened last game in a way.
Right. So we got Joji again at bottom lane, kind of not being really contested here, just pushing their way through, only because everyone else in Point Park is busy doing something else. So they just kind of, when they come back, Joji's already just making work done on that bottom turret, that middle turret already almost dead. I wonder what's going to happen now that Point Park University, some of their turrets are gone, are very low, basically gone, and then Bowling Green, their turrets that are up in the front lanes haven't really been like hit much.
Yeah, but there is something I want to point out. In a lot of games for Point Park this year, they have been down on kills. They've been doing alright this game.
Yeah, I wonder if that might be a moment of like change here, where they're more confident, they're playing together, so they're able to like kind of push. It's very interesting to see. It might be a mixture of just Point Park has changed their team entirely, like I said. Like we've been saying, like their team comp from this game and then literally the games that we just had is an entirely different team. So maybe they just changed into the team that works so much better against Bowling Green.
Yeah, maybe they did, and it's very interesting to watch, and I'm very interested to see if which side's going to strategize better here.
So Point Park is splitting up on that one, going to attack the Thornbound up there. A little bit of an elimination, really pushing hard. All 5 of them was able to really destroy Swagot, going on Ignis. Meanwhile, that's happening. Joji is pushing down bottom lane there.
And they managed to push them away just enough to get the monster here.
Yep. Now that they'll be able to take this this monster out, they'll have a nice little advantage there.
And it looks like Gibby went to intercept Joji.
Yeah, it seems to be the common scenario here with Gibby fighting against Joji. However, it seems to be a 50-50 whether or not Joji or Gibby wins on that one. Seems like this time around, Gibby might be losing.
And it looks like Bowling Green have turned their focus on the turrets here, having taken one out.
Unfortunately, Gibby lost the fight between Joji, and that means that turret must most likely go down. However, Joji is quite low, so if someone decides to come out down there, might be able to just pick him out before he takes the turret. But everyone else is busy with their own lanes.
And there goes another blue turret, and you have to wonder if Bowling Green is about to tie it up here.
They're doing pretty well now. It's very nerve-wracking. Point Park, what are you going to do? We're going to see some mid-play here. Taking it a little bit slow. We've got Dune and Starry playing mid, while Salot and Soap playing as well.
Yeah.
Bottom lane being controlled by, being controlled by Gibby, and top lane. Well, I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yeah, they just keep swapping.
The top and bottom lane keeps being an iffy thing.
Yeah, and it looks like Soap has entered like the river area. I wonder what they're doing here.
I think they might be coming over to get the next dragon, maybe. I'm not sure. They're getting collective in that bottom lane there. I think one of the things that makes Point Park University right now struggle a little bit is the fact that as casters, we're struggling to figure out where exactly each player is kind of defaulting at after their after switching who's in what lane. It's kind of showing that like maybe their default, since they had to change, is not as secure on this way.
Yeah, maybe changing has kind of caused an issue on their team when it comes to communication.
Yeah. So now that dragon's out, it looks like Point Park is doing the opposite this time. Ooh, getting the first hit is Dune. Can Point Park be able to take over? It's a big fight right now. We'll see. Seems like Bowling Green is doing quite well, focusing on that one guy. Gideon getting the first blood on this little fight here. Swagot so very low. Oh, Gibby getting the next kill. Point Park getting Almighty, sorry, getting Ignis. I think Point Park just won that little duel, so they'll be able to get the dragon, which means they're at 3, and that's very interesting to see.
And it was really cool seeing them kind of use the other team's tactic against them.
Right? I was thinking
They brought
that.
it back,
They
and they used it against them. That was really cool.
Yeah, used it against them. Very good to see that. So now that this dragon has been slain, thankfully not being stolen by anybody, we've got a interesting, again, interesting kind of lead here. We've been leading this whole game, kind of maybe like a little bit dipped, but again, we're just like pushing out. It's interesting to see.
Yeah,
I wonder what's going to happen.
This is very different than what we're used to at Point Park. They're not just waiting till late this time. They're actually going out there and trying to win it early.
Thing I'm kind of worried about is what if suddenly the reverse happens where Point Park makes their little mistake and then Bowling Green starts pushing down mid.
Yeah, that would be insane. But hey, that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah, it's a little nerve
The
wracking.
good thing is we are 1-0 right now, so we can't afford to lose this one.
Yeah, but with that mindset, that shouldn't be something to think about and bank on. You know, I imagine right now Point Park, our team, is not really thinking about that. They're still focused on getting this win. They want this win. They want to go home with 2-0 on both of the teams that they on both teams that they win to get that second seat.
And if they can pull that off, a lot of teams are probably going to be very scared of Point Park following the next
Exactly.
couple of weeks.
Ooh. So we got this top lane right now being kind of pushed with, by Bowling Green. Got Ribeiro again just messing around in the jungle, getting some things done. We got Soap and Salat playing mid again. Bottom lane's being controlled. Bottom lane. The Almighty has come down to bottom lane. That means that Joji and the Almighty are back at the same lane again. I think what we were saying before, where they were kind of separated, they weren't really having a single. Their default wasn't the best. It seems like they just fixed that, because clearly now I can see that Point Park has Soap and Salat in mid lane, Gibby at top lane, and the Almighty at the bottom lane.
And that could be a huge thing for this game if they can kind of start to turn it into momentum now.
Right? This momentum is very powerful for them right now. They've got quite a lead here. Swagot slowly taking out that little that monster over there. Joji kind of pushing against Gibby again. So seems like suddenly Bowling Green maybe possibly switched again on who's on what lane.
And you have to think for Point Park, it feels nice to finally be above in kills.
Right? It's
It
very
took
interesting
them-
to see that.
It took them now 3 games, if you count last week, to get to this level. That could potentially be a big change for them.
So let's look at the actually real quick. Very interesting to see. We've got quite an interesting game here. We've got both Soap and Axelot. Again, Axelot being the rookie of the team, really pulling their weight, ain't it?
Yeah, I think you meant Shalot, but
Oh, what did I say?
you said Axelot.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, Shalot. Really pulling their weight there. Ooh, very interesting fight here. The Almighty being kind of fought between Ignis and Swagot.
But
We'll see.
while they were doing that, the other members of the team were pushing elsewhere.
Playing very interestingly. Can Almighty be able to get... Oh, now on a 1v1 again.
He is holding on, which is
Ooh,
very
he's going to have to
important.
force to run away here. I think that's going to be done for that. Very close, though. The Almighty was able to get Ignis very low. I think Ignis decided to channel back, focusing on the Baron here.
You have to wonder if that distraction was what they needed to beat the Baron, and that's
Yeah,
why.
and I think
That's
that
why that
exactly what
happened.
I think that exactly what happened. Point Park, I think they're running away now. Now after getting that monster, they're able to pull back, turn, get some health, while but I don't think Bowling Green is going to allow that to happen. Ooh, unfortunately, Gibby's kind of forced to be playing in there. However, he did get a kill before he ended up getting eliminated.
Yeah,
So running
that was
away.
very big for Point Park getting that
Mhm.
kill before going down because it keeps their momentum going.
So I wonder if that was going to be a worthy play. We had the Almighty getting distracting two of those players, and then all of Point Park really fighting everywhere else.
Yeah,
Now
and
that
it
they're going to be
looks
playing together, I guess they're going to be pushing that dragon next, another
it,
monster. However, Swagot's playing pretty
yeah,
hard on
it
that.
looks like Swag got there before the dragon even spawned. They were prepared for it.
And this is a big moment right now because Point Park is actually at 3 dragons. If they can get this last dragon, they have 4. That's a big moment for Point Park. I wonder, actually,
You have to wonder if they were even focusing on it though, because while
yeah,
that was happening, they took down a turret.
yeah. So I think they allowed that to happen. Again, they don't really. It's their. It's not. It's recommended that they're able to get that dragon. However, if they don't end up getting it, it's not like Bowling Green has already 3 dragons. That was their second dragon.
Yeah,
They still have 2 more to get.
Point Park is playing it safe and getting that turret.
Yeah, that turret was quite a big moment there. Again, they're slowly pushing their way back forward. They're in the lead again, quite a lot, on kills, economy, and in the turrets.
This may be the best game they have played since the start of the season, and it's very interesting to see that from them.
Yeah, playing this time around, not like they're playing very interesting this time. It's not like they're playing what's the word? Playing slowly getting into like a big late game. It seems like their late game is their early game, and I wonder maybe their late game is going to be far better than what's previously we've seen.
Yeah, they don't seem to be playing as defensively as we're used to with them. They're playing a
Right?
lot of offense. And we're kind of seeing they're pushing down middle right now.
So
This could be
normally
interesting.
when they push down middle like that, it's all 5 of them. Point Park, all 5 of them pushing down that middle. So interesting enough, it's weird to see that the Almighty is fighting one of Ignis right now.
But again, you have to wonder if it was a distraction because while that was happening, they took down another turret.
Yeah.
That seems to be their way of playing. They have a lot of moments where they sacrifice one death, but they get a turret in exchange.
Yeah, it's like they're allowing one player just to like distract and the enemy's team to be able to just take advantage of that because it seems the best the best strategy that Point Park has found against Bowling Green is divide their overall strategy together and then everyone else just attacks while they're distracted because it seems like Bowling Green is unable to kind of play separately. Again, right now we've got Joji being kind of absolutely bombarded by Soap, Ribeiro, and Gibby.
Yeah, and it's very interesting to see the way that they've been playing because it's so much different than what we're used to with them.
Yeah, it really is it's very different from how it usually goes. Ooh. Seems like Point Park is being pushed out here, though. I wonder what's going. It's the 3-on-3 separating again.
Yeah, it's been very back and forth, but you can kind of see as Point Park begins to pull away here. They have more towers, they have more dragons, more kills, more gold. They have more everything at this point.
Right.
And it's very interesting to kind of see that difference from what they're used to doing.
Right. So again, we've got. So I think after that little bit of push there on that mid lane, they're going to be kind of playing a little bit differently. Not playing differently. Apologies. They'll be playing a little slower again because they need to regroup, figure out what their next plan is. They are all playing at the top there. Unfortunately, Gibby is eliminated, so I imagine they're waiting for Gibby to return, and they're going to make another push.
Yeah, and once that happens, maybe this is the time where they're gonna start getting together, and they're gonna just start pushing up the middle.
So Ribeiro right now playing against Starry. Ooh, getting cornered by Joji and Starry. Almighty pushing over. Ooh, actually, most of Point Park pushing. Can we get another kill on Joji? Oh, Starry and Dune coming to save the day. We've got, oh, geez. It's a 4-on-4. What will happen here? 4-on-5. Unfortunately, Point Park is in the losing battle here. Ooh.
And it looks like Bowling Green is pushing down the field because of this.
Very scary
be
here.
bad.
Point Park did get quite a few apologies. Point Park did get a few players eliminated there. That means Bowling Green probably is going to be able to get that Baron. I think that was the safe move on Point Park. They don't want to get a full team wipe and allow Bowling Green to be able to do the same thing that they did to them, you know?
Yeah, that would not be great. They want to play it safe, and they want to keep making that forward progress, but take their time. with
Right.
it.
So actually, while that Baron was being handled, Point Park is focusing their attention on the dragon that I imagine is about to be spawned here. They're going to be focusing on that Dune. Ooh, I think they decided to allow that Dune to run away. I'll see what's going to happen here. This might be a big fight again for that to contest that dragon. I think Point Park really needs that dragon here. I think that's the moment that they can really push and say victory here. The dragon has spawned.
And the battle has begun.
All of them have been spawned. I mean, all of them are here now. Going to be a big fight between the two.
This might be the biggest fight in this whole game.
They're pulling back a little bit. Looks, unfortunately, right now it does look like, ooh, Gibby did get the kill on Joji. Apologies, not Joji. Ignis. Oh.
We got another one.
Another one. Almighty is quite low there. I wonder if they're going to be able to play that properly. Unfortunately, they're going to get another kill on Point Park. It's 2-on-3. Ooh, unfortunately. Oh, no. Point Park has been eliminated entirely, meaning that Bowling Green has control over that dragon. That's not looking very good for Point Park. Point Park losing the 5v5, which is very unusual, very unfortunate. I think that is not looking great. That's scary.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder if Bowling Green might just pull away and get us to 1-1.
Oh, dear. And that's that. Bowling Green has just taken the thing. Joji focusing on that tower because all of Point Park is eliminated right now. Still loading in. I wonder if Bowling Green is going to take advantage of that, pull together and start pushing. They did get a couple. Point Park was able to get some eliminations on that, so it's a little bit worrying. I don't know what's going to happen next. It's very much that it seems like Point Park, this new team comp, is their late game isn't as strong as they were anticipating against this team.
Yeah, and it definitely seems to be playing against them. But you can kind of see we're back to like a tied state. Who knows at this point who might walk out of this with the win?
Right. This is getting a very nerve-wracking. I think I might have preferred Point Park University struggling at the beginning and absolutely wrecking in the second half compared to this Point Park dominating in the beginning and suddenly becoming this tied-on game. It's a little scary.
Yeah, well, we'll see what they can do here. It's they gotta try to turn it around here.
Ooh, Gibby absolutely doing some damage on that Ignis there. Swagot again just messing around in the jungle. We've got the Almighty and Joji playing bottom lane.
Yeah, it's still back and forth as both teams are attempting to make sure their momentum gets them to the end. And it's becoming it's very mixed, you know. In some areas it looks like Bowling Green's winning, and others it looks like Point Park's winning.
Point Park does have the advantage on turrets. Unfortunately, no longer has the advantage on the economy, but they do have tied eliminations, so it's very interesting to see. Actually, kind of funny enough, it looks like Bowling Green has gotten the same type of dragon kill, which is all like, I guess, ground, maybe earth. I imagine ground. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how this game's playing. And oh god, they're all ganging up again.
Ganged up on that Joji, eliminating him. Point Park now with that advantage might take advantage of because that Joji is kind of the tank of the Bowling Green. What are they going to do now, Point Park?
And it looks like they're kind of moving up
Mm-hmm.
to top together.
So while they were distracted with that, they kind of have to push backwards because Ignis was focusing really hard on that turret there. Was able to remove that turret. Ignis going to be will end up getting killed. However, they were able to get that turret, so that kind of was unfortunate there. Looks like Point Park did split up again. We got Soup and the Almighty playing against Swagot.
Yeah, and Point Park has the kill lead again, which is interesting to say because they're not used to this.
Mm-hmm. Very nerve-wracking. Swagot still alive. Ooh, Ribeiro might be eliminated there, yep. But all of Point Park, except Ribeiro, is right there alongside Bowling Green. What's going to happen here?
It's an absolute fight at this point as both sides are trying to walk out with the win.
Looks like all of them are channeling back. Gibby did decide to stay. I wonder what he's going to go do. Play mid, I imagine.
And it looks like that's exactly what he's going to end up doing. He's falling back in mid to try to help out with the minions. And then he's going to go deal with those monsters too.
Yeah.
It's been very
Oof.
interesting.
It's very back and forth here. It's a little nerve-wracking to see, to say the least.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how this is kind of playing out, and it's going to be interesting to see who can walk out of here with the win.
Who do you think, like, what do you think Point Park needs to do to be able to really take this home?
I think they need to start teaming up again. They stopped doing that, and every time they stop, it begins to kind of play against them. Unless there's two things they can do here. They can either gang up, or they can send a distraction and try to sneak in. Either way will work, but they need to find which one works better.
The Almighty and Starry just got traded out. We'll see what's going to happen. Point Park again being able to put forcing to push in, getting pushed by Bowling Green this time now. It's kind of nerve-wracking to see. A little bit of stuttering going on the stream. Apologies. But Gideon was able to get that kill on Ignis. That's that's now 4 on 3. However, the separation. Now a 3 on 3. Channeling backwards. Dragon has spawned. Oh dear.
This is the game point for Dragons.
Yes. Point Park, what are you going to do? I think they might be focusing, actually, rather than going for the Dragon, they're going for the Baron. This might be an interesting play. I'm not sure exactly what the Baron or the Dragon getting the third Dragon does, so I guess this is an important moment in both. So we'll see what exactly going to happen. Whoa, Ribeiro did get eliminated by a minion of the Ribeiro, so that's a little bit unfortunate.
And Red has reached 4 Dragons first.
So we just got Point Park getting the Baron, while Bowling Green did get the 4th Dragon, so this might be an interesting thing to see. Ooh, dear. Oh, gosh. So be careful.
It's been a back and forth match. Either team could walk out of here with a win.
Fortunately, Ribeiro, due to that death by sorry, apologies. What's the name of that thing again?
The Baron.
The Baron. Fortunately, with the death by that Baron, Ribeiro is in timeout right now. That can be quite fatal because Point Park's firepower is not as strong without all 5 of them.
Yeah, and we're seeing that kind of take shape here. They're kind of like they are pushing them back, but it's not as fast as they usually do.
Right. Very nerve-wracking. This is kind of the moment with like the whole apologies. It's kind of like a whole start of, I guess, the snowball that Bowling Green has that they're kind of have been told that they have. Like, and we're finally seeing it right now, slowly. They're like building up, and Point Park hasn't really been taking it very well.
Okay, but now we're at the point where we have to wonder, could Point Park see an opportunity and somehow pull this one out?
Yeah, I'm really worried about that. Point Park, they're doing well, but are they really playing the best that they can? Are they making the right plays here? It's worrying. They are playing kind of mid here. Maybe they're going to play that push on mid again. Don't think so. I think they're just kind of. I think the Almighty was just helping out on that mid, and now going to go up. I don't know. It's really worrying.
Yeah, it's just back and forth, back and forth. Who knows who's gonna walk out of here with it?
We got Gibby playing on bottom lane there. Everyone else except oh no, never mind. Apologies. And then the Almighty playing top lane, actually returning. Meanwhile, everyone else is playing that mid lane. Ooh, back and forth. Kind of
Yep.
nerve-wracking.
See, we're in a stalemate here. You know, neither team can seem to make a move here.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's gonna happen. Joji did get just knocked into the Ribeiro.
Yeah, and it's
Oof.
been back and forth, both teams trying their best, but you can kind of see how they're starting to gang up together in the river here.
Yeah, this gang up might be might be what they needed to do. I think after that initial gang up that they lost to that dragon, they got afraid to start ganging up again. You know what I mean? So maybe this is the moment that they get to really taste that. Almighty really be getting chased after. Ooh dear, this is
And
not a good
kinda,
place for Almighty to be right now.
it's kind of something to think about there, is them getting afraid of it. You really need to have short memories. Because just because you had a momentary struggle doesn't mean you should go away from what's working.
Right.
You have to have a short memory of what happened
Oh my
and
goodness.
get back out there and do what's working.
That is not. Oh dear. Fortunately, they just kind of pushed in, absolutely wrecked on that corner there. What am I gonna do? Oh dear.
It's an absolute fight here as both
Yeah.
sides are trying to get something going.
Yeah. We got Point Park trying their best to just handle what's being done here. Joji really doing a number, just like every now and then, just doing a damage. That Orin kind of just absolutely crazy. Seems like the best thing that the like Almighty leaving and changing into a different character might have been a very interesting. That might have been the play that could have changed things.
And one of Point Park's turrets went down in the process.
Yeah. Ooh, Ribeiro joining into a different fight. Did get eliminated by the Ignis. They are being pushed quite far into Point Park's area here. It's kind of nerve-wracking. However, there is no absolute push here, so that does mean Point Park could make it out and be able to push back. It's kind of nerve-wracking here. Keep saying that, but honestly, it's the truth. It's scary. I don't know.
Yeah.
Joji, their focus is very much on Joji right now, trying their best to get that. What do you think, Bryce?
I think it's coming down to the wire. I think even now you really don't know because how Point Park plays.
Yeah.
Like, it looks bad, but we don't actually know if it is.
Actually, right now, what we just saw is Ignis just being like just doing other things, removing another turret. Meanwhile, Point Park was distracted dealing with everything else. Fortunately, meaning another turret just gone down. Point Park was able to get Ignis. However, that did require them to lose 2 of their players.
And it's starting to look really bad for Point Park.
Yes, it seems like Joji was able to get like I think Joji's character, I think Oren, something like that, is such a strong character towards that late game. Really, kind of acting as like the overall like meat wall that Bowling Green has. Meanwhile, Point Park doesn't really have that. Meanwhile, so they had to kind of focus hard on Joji, and while they're focusing on that, all of Bowling Green is just kind of eliminating them.
Another dragon.
Yeah, another dragon and a Baron just spawned, so maybe Point Park might take that dragon. Might be another fight here.
And it continues to be back and forth as both teams really want this.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear. Be really nice for Ribeiro to be able to get that steal again. Might be good to get that. I don't know if that's going to be happening. Another big fight happening here. 3 gets thrown up in the air because of Joji. First kill on the fight is Starry to Ribeiro. Another kill by Starry. Oh my goodness. Ribeiro pushing back. Also getting, oh my goodness. Quad kill and an ace.
They took out the
By the
whole
team.
team.
Oh dear. That's not good at all. An entire minute of waiting and Bowling Green just going to push their way through.
It might just be over.
Yep, they're pushing on that bottom lane because that's the lane that they have the most power on. Still got 30 seconds-ish. No, if they want the entire push, it's about 40 seconds. I think that might be it for Point Park here. But it's
Yep.
not over until that Nexus is gone. We'll see. Unfortunately, as much as I say that, I think Point Park is going to lose this round. Ugh.
It was a battle, but in the end, we go 1-1.
1-1. All right. So what do we think about that?
I think that they kind of fell apart late game. They need to
Right.
get it back together. They need to finally find those opportunities again.
Right. It's nerve-wracking to see that kind of that occurring, because on the time where they were playing very well and the moment where they were actually playing really well and getting that early game start, their late game wasn't the same. It seemed like changing their team entirely was the cause of their loss.
Yeah, it was kind of very unfortunate to see from them. Hopefully they can get it together in the third game.
Yeah, it's very sad. Due to this, we might need to take a little break. We'll be back in a minute. We'll talk more about how that game is on when we're back. But for now, we'll take a little break. Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome back to Point Park University's esports game for League of Legends. Right now we're going against Bowling Green State, and we're now at 1-1.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate turn of events last game, but you know what? It's time for us to finish the job.
Yeah, I'm hoping Point Park University is able to get a win on this one. Right now, the vibe is tense, really tense. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you could cut cut it with a knife. It's really tense, but it's kind of nerve wracking. It's like the thought process right now is that now that Point Park has gotten their first, I guess technically, game loss on the season so far, we're hoping that this is not going to affect them so horribly that they start this third round with bad vibes, you know? So let's get into the draft. So, switching sides here. We got Point Park University on the red side this time. They've got Sion, Silas, V, and
So the other team has Urgot, Yone, and Lilia.
so kind of very different. Both teams here, very different here. I think, I honestly, like,
I am
Bo-
not seeing a single thing that's the same.
yeah, not a single new character here. I mean, not a single, like, well, I guess technically Silas has been seen before. However, not on Point Park University's team. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Not really sure what's going to happen here. I'm hoping Point Park University takes consideration of what happened last game and kind of like changes up their play style. Because, however, although they were playing really well, they were getting a lot of kills, doing beautifully. They suddenly just like fell off at the end there. It's like they lost their late game potential, and I think that might be possibly because of the game, like the team change. I mean, the team comp change.
Well, we do finally get to see. Oh no, wait, they didn't have her last time. The other team did. So they took Yunora from Bowling State.
Yeah. I wonder what's gonna happen this time. Again, now we're none. None. I didn't even know that was a character. None. So it looks like Bowling Green State University has chose None as a legend to play as. So that's.
Well, this is certainly new.
And I think we brought the vibe back up, thankfully, due to some silly little thing there, which I'm not really sure what's going on. We've got a Nun character, which is very funky.
And they got Jen. And there's Rakan. All right. Wow.
So now what we've seen here, Point Park University, the entire team is another entirely different comp. So I wonder if this is a return to this late game strategy or something back to maybe entirely different from the late game or early game strategy to like just an entirely different thing. Maybe like rush down or something.
Yeah. Well, I'm very interested to see what Nun can do.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite character now.
My favorite character is pretty much None. So while we're waiting for that game to start, let's talk a little bit about what happened last game, because, as I said before, we needed a little break, because of... That was a lot. I feel sad. Bryce, what do you feel?
I feel like we need to lock in.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a little disappointed. Not only this is kind of a reason why we're just trying our best to stay here, but also it's just like, we lost. My team. My Point Park team, we lost. So, right now we're going to have to figure out that. So, let's talk about what exactly Point Park University has to do to fix whatever they did wrong in last game.
I think they need to find a way to not just start good, but finish well.
That's honestly after burning the... After really boiling down to it, it kind of is the point. They really need to just fix their late game, because it just seems like they went from late game to early game advantage, kind of like they were cooking and they burned the bacon. It's kind of unfortunate. I'm kind of sad, but I think one of the big things is that Point Park University, with this loss, they need to understand that this happens and this isn't the end. That they can pull through. They should be talking right now, deciding what their plan is. Coach Jacob, they'll be able. I imagine he's talking to them, figuring out what to do. Hopefully, all of them will be able to just recollect themselves and absolutely wreck in this next round. And we just learned what none actually means. Bryce, what'd you like to tell them what none means?
So it means that the other team forgot the click, therefore I think it randomly generated. I'm not entirely sure, but I guess they forgot to click what they wanted to take.
That could mean that they just don't have, like, on the drafting page it says none, but when the game actually starts it's gonna be chosen, like they get to choose still, because I think the drafting page is just for a visual representation of what's going to happen. So when that actually happens, they're able to, like, kind of, da-da-da. But what I'm thinking right now, is, what does Point Park need to do? Like, exactly what? Because, yes, we understand that Point Park, last game, they had a really good early game, but their late game was bad. But why was their late game bad?
I think they did. I think they shouldn't have swapped when they did. They had something working, and then they decided to just change everything. When you
Right.
have something that works, stick with what's working until they make you change.
I agree with that. Being able to say that, hey, we are the kind of lead. We they won the first game. Not very, like, overwhelmingly they won, but they still won. They took advantage, as they have been for the last two games. The last game and how they won 2-0. They've been playing, and they've been playing the same way, where their late game is really good. They take advantage of that, push down mid, absolutely wreck. But the early game, they struggle. But it's not about the early game. It matters, but the early game doesn't get you the win. It's the entire game, right? So I think what we saw there was a great early game, but they weren't able to play off the late game.
Yeah, and I think that's what they gotta do if they want to walk out of this one with a win.
I agree with that. It kind of sucks. There was a random piece of paper here. I don't really know what this is about. On the table. Let me open this. Hold on. Really, it's tangled here. Wait. Do you see what this says? Oh my god. It says, go get Red Bull. I love that. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm gonna go actually, you know what? Yeah. I like this paper. This paper, it says wonderful things. Go get some Red Bull. Red Bull, thank you. We're sponsored by Red Bull, if you hadn't noticed. We have Red Bull here all the time. We love it. It's good. We're sponsored. Have it. I keep saying that, but it's true. Oh dear. So, okay. But anyways, about the game, I think the biggest thing is that Point Park, they really need to just show that this game that's about to come up, they've got what they've got it. I think they just need to show it, right?
Yeah.
Because as me and Bryce has been talking, they have been showing great skill. They're very talented. They do great things. They win. They understand when to take advantage of things. But that last game, it just seemed like they kind of lost that, like, spunk that they knew. Like, they knew what they needed to do, but they just didn't play it.
Yeah.
They had the cards, but they didn't play it through.
Yeah.
You know? It just kind of sucks.
Yeah, you have to use the cards you're given, or you're just not gonna get anywhere.
Exactly. You gotta roll high if you want to win. Gambling. That's fun. All right. So actually, oh dear, I like being dumb and silly. It's really funny. Anyways, Bryce, can you tell me what other games we have in store this week?
So we have a double header for Valorant this Wednesday,
Heck
as well
yeah.
as a Rocket League game this Friday.
Oh yeah, we do. Very interestingly enough, Rocket League's game. I think we're on a one. Rocket League, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. So this game will be will kind of be like a, hey, we're good, because they need to show that they're gonna win again. Meanwhile, our Valorant game is gold. We won, and our green, unfortunately, after a very close match, we lost. So it's gonna be interesting with that. I imagine green is going to have to do their best to push themselves up, while gold is doing their best to keep up what they have, because they're 2-0. Anyways, let's get back to the game. In a little minute. Just a little time, just a little moment. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, so, anyways, what were you gonna say?
I don't even know anymore.
Sorry, I distracted you. I apologize. I got distracted saying some random stuff. Let's get back. Anyways, let's get into the game. There you go. So, I wonder what what's gonna happen this time. It looks like, actually, for that replacement, I honestly have no idea who the new character is for that Nun character. But let's just pretend that, yeah. Shin is the character of Nun, like what Nun was supposed to be. So let's actually get this started now. This time around, Point Park University is on the right side instead of the left side, which is actually kind of a little bit jarring, because Point Park has usually been on the left, so it's a little interesting to see that. But
Very interesting.
yep. So forgive us if we accidentally say some wrong things here, but it looks like we've got another split here. Gibby playing mid. We've got, I imagine, Salat and Soap playing bottom. Meanwhile, the Almighty is playing atop again. The usual, the default positions that they like playing,
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that, and hopefully they can stick with it this time.
Yeah. All right. So, Bryce, tell me, with this early game, what do you think made Point Park University do so well in the early game last game?
I think what it was is they just they locked in a little bit. They
Right.
they figured out what the other team was doing wrong, and they used it against them.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
And I think if they want to win this one, they're gonna have to do something very similar.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a maybe, but I'm really hoping that Point Park really pulls up their game this time and really shows that that last game was a fluke. It was not meant to happen. They did so well in that early game that we really thought they had it home. They were taking it home. That was it. But this time around, they really need to show that not only they can get that early game, but they can get the late game.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how they do. It's very early on, so we'll see kind of where these two teams take it. Once again, it just feels like a fresh start because we keep getting a new team every game.
Exactly. It seems like nobody really wants to stay the same. Heck, I mean, at least last game, Bowling Green had two of the same characters. This time around, all of them are different. Nobody kept their same character, I'm pretty sure. So.
I honestly think they just want to, try other things. I don't think they did good enough before.
They want to try something new, so it's going to be interesting to see that. We've got, unfortunately, Swagot and Dune really pushing hard on Ribeiro. Ribeiro being the jungle player here. The Almighty and Joji, again, their usual little bows. That is an interesting character. Dang. Did you see that? It was like a spider with a large man on the top of it. Crazy looking. It's awesome. So, unfortunately, Starry was able to eliminate Shalot there. Channeling. Very interesting. Maybe misclick here.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's an absolute fight going on in top again.
Mhm. As stated previously, Point Park usually is more of a late game player, and Bowling Green is more of a snowball kind of effect. So it's very interesting that last game, Point Park played really well early game, and it's really interesting to see that it seems like maybe this time around, that's not the same thing.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how the two teams do, and yeah, we'll see how they go.
Right? Oh, wow. All right, so I think one of the things that we need to talk about here. Oh, the dragon actually spawned, so that'll be interesting to see who will focus on that. First game, what's it called? First game, Point Park got it. Second game, Point Park got it. But interesting enough, second game, Point Park got so many dragons, but just didn't get the fourth one because even though Point Park's strongest when there's there's five of them, they just unfortunately lost the 5v5, which is very very uncommon for Point Park.
Yeah, it's not often you see them lose something like that, and it
Yeah,
shows that maybe they need to rethink the strategy a little bit.
right. I can't just push down and devour every time. I think it might be a mixture of just like the economy and like incorrect maybe purchases and all that. Oof. Some interesting play right now. We got mid being contested pretty hard. Bottom lane also, unfortunately, forcing Soap and Salat to fall back a little. Interesting enough, Ignis is playing mid. Pretty healthy, though, while Gibby having to fall back there. Not the best health. Not looking great for Point Park.
Yeah, they are being pushed back a lot here, and if they don't step it up soon, it might be bad.
Right. Kind of nerve-wracking. Normally, the Almighty plays really well at that top lane, and just kind of keeps that stalemate. And the only real reason why the Almighty was kind of struggling that second round was because what's their name? Swaggy? No, sorry.
That's what got.
So he got kept coming in to help. So it's interesting to see that this time around the Almighty is kind of falling back this time.
Yeah, but it looks like Bowling Green will get the first dragon this time.
Yeah.
Very big change from the last couple games as they're trying to play aggressive here.
Yeah.
But you know, that's probably what Point Park wants.
Yeah.
Point Park wants them to play aggressive so they make a mistake and they can use it against them.
I agree with that. It seems like maybe Point Park might be going back to their old ways where they allow the opposing team to just kind of do what they need to do. However, understanding where exactly they can take those little jabs and advantages of, and eventually take it home. But we don't know until then. Maybe right now they'd be playing a slow game going into a long con game.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see, man.
Yeah. Looks like bottom lane has been is being pushed pretty nicely by Shalot and Soap. Swagot is playing around the Void Grubs, so it might be interesting to see some fight between the fight for the Void Grubs, since Point Park is kind of more there.
And it looks like Point Park is trying to focus in on the bottom here, doing some damage down there. We do seem to be locked into a stalemate early, though.
Yeah. Not really sure what's going on with that grub right now. I think actually right now, yep, Bowling Green did take the first Void Grubs here. Took all three of them, so.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see, and both teams are still going at it. And it looks like it looks like Bowling Green is kind of holding back a little bit. I wonder why that is.
I'm not really sure how to feel about this game right now. Point Park, again, normally is kind of like this, where they play very slowly in the beginning. Not necessarily losing, but they are like in the lower half. But from last game, it's kind of making me feel like I don't know. I genuinely don't know how to feel about this time, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting to see the two play, and
Yeah.
really they just keep. It feels like every game they're filling each other out because they have new teams each time.
Right? It's like a new entire strategy. They have to figure out how to play against them. So it just doesn't seem like they're able to learn anything from the previous game. It
Yeah.
just seems like they're playing a new, an entirely new game that they have to, an entirely new game that they have to learn the advantages to take. No?
Yep. And it looks like the fetal warfare goes to Bowling Green, and that could be bad for Point Park.
Mm-hmm.
And they continue. Bowling Green continues to kind of take on these kills
Mm-hmm.
and lead here in the first going of the
I agree
game.
with that. Double kill given to Bowling Green, unfortunately. Oh, sorry. Yeah, unfortunately. So, not looking great. Do have Gibby playing bottom lane this time, trying their best to, I guess, push back. We've got the Almighty playing top still against Joji. That doesn't change. That never changes. But mid lane is being contested right now. We'll see what's gonna happen here. Not really sure what to say much right now.
Yeah, it just feels like a stalemate right now. So there's really just nothing to really focus in on.
Mhm. It's really weird to see like the different legends like abilities. It's like really funny because just that like spider character that Joji plays. That's such an interesting looking like visual, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of cool this game in a way because of all these new characters. We get to see so many new things
Right.
that we really didn't get to see when they played Leslie, for example.
Right.
Yeah, it's been back and forth here. See which team can take it here.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Bowling Green's currently working on towers.
Right. Starry is playing pretty harsh on that turret on bottom lane. Meanwhile, mid lane and top lane is being pushed back from Point Park. So unfortunately, doesn't look great. We'll see what's gonna happen.
The question though is Point Park trying to make us think it's not going great.
Yeah.
They do this so often, like you never know.
Dragon just has spawned. Let's see who's gonna take that.
As far as we know, Point Park might just be waiting for the perfect time to strike,
Right.
and when it comes, they just might destroy the other team.
We do have a player advantage with Point Park on that Dragon, so maybe they'll be able to take a couple players down from Bowling Green before they were able to reconjoin. Unfortunately, though, I think they were able to convene a little bit here. It's now going to be a 4v4, although it does look like they're not really willing to push in there. Mainly because Joji's there. Joji as the tank. They really struggle to fight against that.
Yeah.
I think they have a 5-5 now. I think they'll be losing that dragon.
And if they're not going for the dragon, why didn't they just go up and take some of the towers down?
Right. So
It kind of feels weird that they still engaged in the fight despite this. It just doesn't feel like something they would have done.
right. The ocean brings life. Oh, whoa. Kind of cool. Point Park University's Ribeiro just got an elimination. Pretty nice job. What we are looking at is some interesting play. Kind of scary what we're looking at here. Joji is running down, pushing hard. Meanwhile, Swagot just kind of pushing beside him. Unfortunately, I think that does mean that Gibby will be eliminated here. Maybe. Actually, very close to. Got Soap trying to protect.
And it looks like turret plating is about to fall. And we already know how much of a difference that can make.
So while that was all happening, the Almighty was playing a top lane. Ignis is pushing against him, so I think he will have to fall back a little. But I think I did see a little bit of damage on that turret. However, speaking of turrets taking damage, it looks like Starry and Dune is doing some numbers on that turret on the bottom lane.
And as turret plating falls, Point Park pushes Bowling Green out of their territory.
Gibby did just get absolutely just stomped on by that Joji.
And it looks like Bowling Green got the first tower.
Yes. This is not looking great for Point Park. Slowly, Point Park's turrets have been getting ticked away. Can't really say the same for Bowling Green. Their turrets are doing not terrible, to be honest.
The Point Park tower goes down.
Mm-hmm. What are we looking here right now? We're seeing some play by Point Park. I think they might be trying to push in a little bit on the mid here. Got still, again, the Almighty playing at top. However, instead of Joji, because Joji, it seems like Joji's been playing very, like, around. And in replace of that, Ignis is playing in that top lane. And I think Ignis is doing really well up there. Keep seeing the Almighty play, keep channeling there. I don't know why he keeps accidentally doing that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I wonder if he just keeps hitting the wrong button or if he actually wants the channel.
Yeah, I think there's some nerve coming here. So it's interesting. Maybe it's like a character thing. Ribeiro. Damn. Ribeiro trying to channel out there, but unfortunately got caught. But
they started working together.
Yeah, they started working together and was able to get Joji there. I think. Unfortunately, Soap did get pulled out there. That is a crazy range on that ultimate. I have no idea who that is. I think that, yeah, it's just like, dang, Starry maybe? I think that's Starry's ultimate.
And it looks like Point Park finally got one of Bowling Green's towers.
Yeah, and while that was happening, Bowling Green did get the Herald, so not the might be an interesting trade-off there. We'll see what's going to happen. Again, Point Park playing very slow here. That's normally their play, where they play slow at the beginning, absolutely kill it at the end. So I'm hoping maybe this is what's happening right now. They're just waiting for the long con. Their early game isn't great, but they get better throughout, so I'm hoping that's going to happen.
Well, remember in the first game, the Bowling Green did get a lot of the monsters, but they focused in on the turrets.
Right.
And we kind of got to see that right there. Are they going back to the same strategy they had in game 1?
Yeah, I wonder. I think maybe the Almighty's character just takes advantage of channeling. I'm not sure, because I keep seeing channeling happen to the Almighty. You know what I mean? So I think maybe that's just how the character works.
Might be. I'm not entirely sure.
We got Joji back up there, so now it's an even match up there. We've got Soap and Shalot playing on that, playing bottom again. Mid lane, not sure. I think most of them. Oh, apologies. That was actually mid lane. Gibby is playing bottom lane.
Interesting. Yeah, it's been back and forth as Bowling Green continues trying to push down.
Yes. Oof. All right. So we have some interesting play right now. We've got another little fight here. I think they're about to fight for the dragon that I think might be spawning fairly soon here. Yeah. We got Bowling Green. Yeah, Bowling Green playing pretty hard there. Now that
Bowling
Point Park
Green going right after the dragon.
really hard on that one. Point Park is going to avoid that. I think what they're going to do is push down mid a little bit as a group. See what they're going to do here.
And now Bowling Green has had
Oh my goodness! And they
dragons.
were not even able to do that much damage on that middle turret, because the second that the dragon spawned, Bowling Green was able to take care of it and almost immediately went to recover that. Oh dear, this is very just nerve-wracking to see. The Herald has just been spawned. Now they have some control over that mid spot. It's not looking great for Point Park. They have just a constant feed of like push and push and push that Bowling Green has been sending. This might be the snowball that they've been talking about. They are already at the at Point Park spawn. What are we gonna do?
Could this be a quick finish here tonight?
This is scary. It's just things one after the other. It's nerve-wracking. I don't know what to say.
While there is an upside, it looks like Point Park was able to get one of Bowling Green's turrets while that was all going down.
Yeah. Thankfully, Point Park was able to rectify and and deal with that mid push that Bowling Green was doing. Thankfully, Bowling Green isn't able to do the same thing that Point Park does, where they just take complete advantage and just push forward. But I do see some things happening here. Point Park needs to change a little bit. What do you think Point Park needs to do?
I think Point Park needs to get more aggressive. Right now, they're playing way too defensively, and they're staying their own side and letting the other team dictate how the flow of the game goes.
Yeah, it's really, like, really weird to see. The only thing that's confusing is it's just visually, Point Park shouldn't be letting some of these things go. They normally contest a lot of the things that Bowling Green has been doing. Again, Joji just absolutely destroyed Gibby, sorry. Almighty, and thankfully Point Park did just tag team the heck out of Starry. Might be pushing some mid control here, being able to take down that tower. At least saying another tower has been destroyed.
Yeah, so every time the Almighty's character says channeling, it seems to have like a big bubble, so I think it is based on its abilities.
So I think all of them are pushing down that mid again. Seems like
They are making progress.
So I think they might be playing on this mid strategy here. Meanwhile, Bowling, yeah. So now they are tied on the on mid lane. Both pushed pretty far. I wonder what's going to happen. I think they're all channeling back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Ignis suddenly comes out of nowhere by themselves. Point Park absolutely just goes crazy on him. Starry coming back to see if they can help. Ignis eliminated. We'll see what's going to happen. Gideon by themselves against Joji and Swagot. I wonder what Gideon's going to do. Gideon might be limited on this one. Dang! Joji's character's crazy.
Yeah.
Just pulls and absolutely it's literally like a spider, just like wrapping you in its web and just pulls you in. Absolutely crazy. Suddenly, it seems like, I don't know. It's weird to see Point Park getting some really nice mid control back there, being able to eliminate not one but two of those turrets.
I'm pretty sure they tied up the turret numbers again back to 4 each.
Yeah.
So that was huge. And now maybe they need to all get together and they need to start pushing down mid some more. Now that there's barely any turrets left there, now could be the time to take advantage.
Yeah. And I think that might have been the thing that they needed to be able to bounce this back, because originally I don't think they were going to think a lot of things were stacked against them, and that opportunity to be able to take a bunch of those towers down, I think now they have the opportunity again to be able to win that. Gibby now on the top lane here, switching from bottom lane to top. Seems like Gibby understands that fighting against Joji is not a winning battle.
Yeah. It's a very interesting.
Ooh, Swagot playing there. Not really sure what's going to happen. I think what's going to happen right now is maybe a dragon about to spawn. I think I'm seeing that. Point Park is taking control of that area.
It's been a great back and forth game, but
Jeez, what is going on here?
you know, it's interesting to see Point Park's comeback sequence a little bit here.
Point Park absolutely tearing the crap out of Swagot. Now they're going to be taking turns trying to deal with. I think they're going to run away now this time. Unfortunately, Joji did get some control. The Almighty in a second form, I think, unfortunately did get eliminated. Dragon has spawned. Joji and the Bowling Green does now have control over this dragon. I think they're going to be able to get the fourth dragon here, unless if Point Park, which they're hiding right now, might be able to pull out. Ugh.
It's a back and forth battle, but they're going for the dragon now. This could be the game changer. And even while going after the dragon, they're still taking out towers. What is happening to Point Park that they can't even protect their towers while the other team's distracted?
Yeah, that is a fourth tower. I mean, that is a fourth dragon for that is the fourth dragon for Bowling Green. Therefore, now that they're four, they've got that big buff. They got the challenge.
And Point Park hasn't even gotten one yet.
Yes.
So it's looking very unlikely that Point Park will walk out of here with the win, unless they can pull off some upset.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to think, what is Point Park doing? Like, I know that, like, I see the occasional like big play that they keep making. However, it just seems like whatever they do, Bowling Green just does something in return and does it so much better.
I don't know if it's what is Point Park doing. I think it's what is Bowling Green doing. I think they have really locked in for this final game and are playing better than I think they played this whole night.
Right. So a little bit at a time. And now we have a very noticeable deficit between Point Park and Bowling Green. Bowling Green doubling the kills of Point Park, also having quite a large difference of economy. An extra turret eliminated. What is this move? Dang, moved all the way to the bottom lane. I think that's some sort of like a passive ability or something like that. I really don't know how that works. Again, we don't really know how this game works. We're just kind of figuring it out. Again, Joji is crazy. The character, just everything that he does, just seems like it's just absolutely denying the opportunity for Point Park to do something. Swag out being pushed away. However, Joji again coming in with a save. Oh my God, oppressing and just destroys. Ribeiro.
Yeah, it's been not a great night, not a great game for Point Park right now, and it might just be over.
Another elimination soon to approach. Joji probably being able to take that one. Yep, going to take. But again, I think the Almighty in the second phase after his death or something like that. Just trying their best to prevent it.
And they take down another turret, and that just got even worse.
I think Point Park at this point right now needs to do a crazy play to be able to pull it back. Right now, what's it called? Slowly, one by one. Bowling Green is just taking things away from Point Park. The turrets slowly, one by one, damage a little bit at a time. Players just catching them off guard, even when they're not off guard and they're like in a group. Just Bowling Green has so many more players just on top of them. It's like, what is happening?
And it just keeps getting worse as now Bowling Green's focusing on the Baron to give him more power.
While that's happening, Point Park, they're playing. They think they might be trying to contest that, maybe steal it. Unfortunately, no, they were not able to. Now what are they going to do? What Point Park is going to do?
And it's already looking worse as the game goes on. And interestingly, this game feels a lot closer to its finish, and it's only been like 30 minutes, man. We have less time than usual.
Last game
has gone so much faster.
Last game we did see some sort of turn of events where it was the opposite way around, with Point Park being in the lead, and suddenly the Bowling Green coming out of there in the end. So maybe we'll be seeing some sort of crazy event here. We are seeing a crazy fight here. Shalot did get a kill on Dune. Can they see another one? Unfortunately, no. Soap did get eliminated. Can we see another elimination? Libero getting Ignis. Oh my goodness, Joji just has so much power, that like so much control over the area. They just slowly, one by one, taking things over. Starry coming in behind. Almighty, barely, almost there, dead. Another player eliminated, pushed back all the way to their spawn.
Yeah, and I think Joji's been the massive game changer in this game. The way he's been playing has helped Bowling Green really take control here.
Yeah, I like. Could this have been? So, it's sad to see this, because Point Park started off so strong. Their first game on this against Bowling Green was such an interesting play, and I think that's the nexus. That's the end of the game. Point Park, fortunately, lost. This is Point Park's. And with that, Point Park lost. That is now 1-1 on the scoreboard there. I think that means Bowling Green is now at a 2-0 right now. So unfortunately, Point Park did not win. What do we think that Point Park needed to change? What do they need to do?
I think they need to find a way to not just play defense, but they need to play offense as well. There was too much defense there, and it's in the final game. Bowling Green really just used that against them and just kept coming in over and over again, and just didn't work out well.
I think one of the biggest things here is, but we like joked about it a lot, but Point Park and Bowling Green, they constantly change their players. Like the characters that they played, the legends, they changed every single game. So there was never an opportunity for Point Park to grow from their knowledge from prior. They were able to take like knowledge from the players themselves. However, the characters they had to fight with were entirely different, and then they also had characters that they had to get used to playing as. So it's like a mixture of just Point Park having to play new characters, or I guess characters that they normally main, but like different comp versus another team comp that's different. So it just ended up being like throwing something new at each other and seeing who'd win. Thankfully, their first game, we won that. But the second and third game, we didn't win. It wasn't the same.
Well, it's an unfortunate loss, but we got to move on.
Yeah. So I think we're going to wrap this one up here. Maybe a little bit of a preview on what our players are doing right now. And as that's happening, we're going to say our goodbyes here. So, fortunately, some things definitely not the happiest, but it's a game. It's a game that we'll have to learn, and the next time we play, we'll be able to hopefully learn from what has happened. And with that, I think that's a good time to sign out. Thank you for coming to Point Park University's esports game. That was Point Park versus Bowling Green on League of Legends. If you want to catch us on a different game like Valorant, you can join the stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. That'll be a double header. We'll be going against, we will have our green and gold team play. And if you want to watch our Rocket League game, you could go to Friday, which will be, I think, also at 7. And yeah, thank you for coming. I am Kago, also known as Underdog.
I am Bryce, also known as Tankzilla.
Thank you for coming, and hopefully we'll see you later. Bye-bye.